How's it going, man? Tomorrow here, give people a couple minutes to come in. Did y'all like the video upon coming into the room? Thanks so much for listening. Hey, give me one more minute, then I'll have my opening statements, and then I'll open it up to the panel for the people who want to come on. Thanks for coming through. 42 people are here. I'm going to get started. We'll play something from one of my favorite teams and the favorite NFL coaches on the team, and we're going to start this off right. So, here we go. I want to say this. Number one is I apologize. I apologize for the start. And I don't really. It's like this. Today was good for me. It was good for me because sometimes you take a step back and you look at it and you think, hey, you know what? I'm here. It's on. We're going to make it work. They're working hard. They're doing this. They're doing that. We're going to go out there and it's going to change right now. It will change. And I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change. And it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions. But right now, we got to figure out the formula. Our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth, number one. Number two, we are not a charity. We cannot give them the game. That's number two. And number three is we execute from the very start of the game to the very end of the game. That did not happen. I do not apologize about, you know what? I'll go ahead and take the question. No. You don't want me to go much further. Go right ahead. Ask your question. Vernon just, it was something that I told everybody at the very beginning of the week. I will not tolerate players that think it's about them when it's about the team. And we cannot make decisions that cost the team and then come off the sideline and it's nonchalant. No. You know what? This is how I believe, okay? I'm from the old school. I believe this. I would rather play with 10 people and just get penalized all the way until we got to do something else, rather than play with 11 when I know that right now that person is not sold out to be a part of this team. It is more about them than it is about the team. Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners. I want people that want to win. Go ahead. What's up next? I told him that he would do a better job for us right now, taking a shower and coming back and watching the game than going out on the field. Simple as that. We got between now and that time when we play Arizona to correct some things. And it's not so much the play, but it's more the mindset. And still having a chance to find out who wants to win, who really wants to win. Sometimes you have guys that it's been so long that we've been unsuccessful. Sometimes it's like a bad relationship. You don't know when it's going to turn again. And after a while, you become a part of the problem rather than the solution. I want guys that are solution oriented, starting with myself. I'm not going to try and make something work when it doesn't fit. I've always been a firm believer, and it's nothing like it was anything magical or anything. And in all honesty, you probably do not want to hear it, okay? But it was just sharing my heart with them. It's as simple as that. But I just believe that things that we talk about in the locker room should stay there. We did not play anywhere near where I felt we could have played. And rather than go into the, well, see, this happened here and that guy was out of play, I'm not going through that. I'm just going to apologize and just ask you guys to, I won't even say anything. Just keep watching. That's all I can tell you. You just keep watching, and we'll go from there. I want to say this.
All right. That was Mike Singletary, one of my favorite players, one of the best coaches in the NFL. So that when you're dealing with people in this particular space, you have to understand what you're up against. Let me tell you what Supreme King Coon was against last night. It is a very dishonest debate tactic, and I will start the discussion off with that debate tactic. This is a debate tactic that Supreme King Coon was up against yesterday. This is the debate tactic that all anti-SYSBM people are up against. This is called the Gish-Gallup debate tactic. I will read it off. It is a fallacious debate tactic of drowning your opponent in a flood of individually weak arguments in order to prevent rebuttal of the whole argument collection without great effort. As you can see, it is being used with emotion. It is being used with anger. It is being used with everything else on the actual process of things that are going on. But it has nothing to do with intentions and results. You truly have to get what these dishonest debate tactics are. Because right now we're dealing with another type of Gish-Gallup through trying to make SYSBM into a pro-Black benefit movement. Library Council, $2 super chat. You may have helped my find funding. Thank you. Yeah, that probably was, related to the actual stream this morning that I took down. I don't leave streams like that up. That's $1 million information. I don't leave stuff like that up. You get it, you get it. You don't get it, you don't get it. So you have to understand the Gish-Gallop method. So now the Gish-Gallop method has kind of evolved in its actual definition. This is a rational wiki. For the actual definition, you need to understand what this is. So that way you can understand when you are in the face of somebody who actually wants to debate something and somebody who actually wants to have a conversation from a dishonest standpoint. You truly have to understand that none of this stuff has anything to do with you. Separating from bad outcomes that come from the usual places, there's nothing wrong with that. The reason why they don't allow people to own pit bulls and Rottweilers in some places in the United States is because they know the owners of those animals don't take care of them properly. And when those animals come in contact with other people and they're not stewarded, other people get hurt. You need to have a special license to actually do sociology within this country. You need a special license to actually debate and actually disagree with certain things that happen in society. You do not need a special license to assign somebody no consequences for their actions. You don't need a license for that. The only thing that you need is the fact that nobody will criticize you because what they think they're going to get out of you. Let's talk about what this really is about. Most people don't like SYSBM is because we're not trying to save the entirety of the concept of a domestic counterpart within our country. SYSBM is simply trying to bring along the best of the best and the people who want to show a different logic and reason with the actual people in the culture who actually are productive. I'm merely separating the productive from the unproductive. Remember we talked about it long ago that there was going to be this divide? It's here. Why do you think I'm part of it? The best way you can get rid of anything is to solve everything at its lowest level. You could put different things in different environments. I've been in different environments. I've seen how things operate in different environments. From law enforcement to the military to the battlefield to corporate America. I know how these things act. This whole system is ran off blackmail usury. The whole system is. And the actual criticism that's coming toward SYSBM should be coming toward the people who are pro-black. Should be coming toward the people who watch the stuff go down. Why is SYSBM being overloaded and overbearing with all this stuff that has nothing to do with what the tenets are? The first couple of tenets told you who do we want to separate from. SYSBM is about male happiness. Can women be a part of it? Absolutely, if she wants to work on the behalf of the family or the household. You ain't got to marry nobody to have no good relationship with them. But if you don't want to do that, then we're going to move on to other things. You're right, Rael. Pro-blacks did kill Malcolm. So they're trying to make it seem like we ought to be held to a higher standard than the people who are actually here within the culture, who claims to love these people more than we do. We're just closing ranks. They're trying to open the ranks so that way everybody can qualify, so long as they are a woman. Doesn't matter what she brings to the table. And the actual criticism that's coming toward SYSBM is not going towards dating coaches, unreformed criminals, fake pimps, the actual matriarch of society, nor their broken kids, or the women who want to sign up to be the next usurious people in return. How are we here? The first couple of tenants told you who we wanted to stay away from. It's singular. It's very singular. You think Mad Bus Driver X would not want to put up pictures of happy black men and successful black couples if he could find them without them being compromised into like black feminism? You think he wouldn't want to do that? He would. That's why I'm glad he had the helmet on. And if he ever took it off, he probably earbud crane. That would make him even more mad and upset. That you have a headless man who's a part of a movement that makes sense. Are you really being stopped by a headless man? Is that what it is? I want people to understand that people are to have a high set of standards to be within your life. I don't compromise, nor do I negotiate with evil. Period. Because these people are straight evil. Period. The people who is concentrating on SYSBM without concentrating on dating coaches and everything I else just named is evil. Period. The people who run this pro-black hustle trying to make people feel comfortable within their skin without even worrying about the results of the boys within the community is evil. Period. Why? I've been other places. I've been in other communities. Here in the United States, they think there ain't no standards. They want to simultaneously tell you that this person is not to be held to any type of standards or account, and then want to turn around and tell you that you are to only deal with these people who are held to no standards and account. All the smoke for SYSBM ain't going to a 50-year-old fuck niggas here. None. Motherfuckers who are freely trying to get 20-something-year-old men who don't know shit about their motherfucking life to be tied up with these fucking hoes. No smoke from nobody over here. None. I understand restomping insects ain't a pretty fucking sight, but sometimes you have to do so to prove that they ain't got no fucking point. Yeah, they prey on young men. Of course they do. Young, inexperienced men and male usury is what keep this whole thing going. This is why these women go out and do their whole shit during the day, and then they come here and moonlight and act like they are actually fucking feminine women online in male spaces. They return to the scene of the crime. The decent fucking men that they know that they don't fucking qualify for. Why are we being judged by pro-black responsibilities and standards? We already told you from the first beginning, we ain't gonna be scapegoating and helping these motherfuckers out here. I don't know how many times we gotta answer the fucking question that it's not Babatunin that came up with the fucking standards, is merely on his server, on his site. Shit was signed up on by a whole bunch of people, me being one of them. But you have to understand, if you can dodge problems at the forefront, you can actually focus on productivity, because everybody's not going to be a business owner out here. Business owners in the white community makes up probably less than 1% of the people in that community. So why do we think that we got to have 100% or even 50% business owners on the black sector in order for shit to happen? You know what don't fucking happen? We ain't got competent fucking employees. Competent employees is what keeps most business running. But if you got most niggas in this fucking community who think that I don't have respect for the owner of the fucking business, I'm gonna try to fuck this motherfucker over as soon as I fucking get my fucking chance. How the fuck we gonna build shit? Everybody don't need to be no motherfucking business owner. I pay my drivers good because I want them to fucking stay. And I'd rather for a fucking truck to sit before I put some motherfucker in there that don't fucking belong there. Because at the end of the day, you're still gonna need to have skills and abilities to go anywhere in this world. This is why these types of conversations are important. The people who are pro-black are held to no standards. The only thing they're doing is promising your future, the unsuspecting guy who don't have any experience with these type of people. Those are the people who they sitting around waiting on to fix their actual fuck-ups in life. So now what they want to do is do a long form of the Gish-Gallup method is by overloading SYSBM of pointless fucking arguments that we have to fucking answer, and I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to go 1-on-1, 5-on-1. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, you ain't gonna be able to stop this fucking movement with this bullshit. This is how you shut down all the other people. It's truly not our responsibility to be judged by a group of people who didn't fucking want us to be there. This is why I say the women who was cheering that shit on last night, those are motherfuckers who are free to sit back and watch these dudes fuck that shit up, trying to help them. I don't want you to help them. I want the women to come to the top who actually want to be with black men. That's what the fuck I want. You believe in this game bullshit and anything can be solved by a level of game, nigga, fuck you. Fuck your bitch. Fuck all that shit. It haven't worked. There ain't no motherfucking track record that I can fucking measure. Men like measuring shit. People who got shit like measuring shit. I want to measure the efficacy of anything I'm going to be fucking involved in. What the fuck I look like letting some slick talking MAGA fucking get past me with some fucking bullshit when they don't even represent no fucking field out here that nobody would fucking respect. It don't make no fucking sense. You have to understand cross-cultural why these motherfuckers don't exist. They don't exist because they're not the standard of masculinity nowhere. So what you have to truly realize is that they're giving you the standards that they should be asking these dating coaches. They're asking SYSBM for receipts and they ain't asking dating coaches for receipts. What kind of stupid shit is that? These are the motherfuckers who actually promise you access to bitches. We just telling you to stay the fuck away from the bitches and concentrate on your motherfucking skills and ability, and somehow we get all the smoke that other motherfuckers get. This is why you saw the problem at the inset. All you have to do is just say, you know what? If this person's actually worth it, let them stand on their own weight. In law, if you have a good enough case, there's no reason for the actual person who's accused to take the stand. Make these hoes take the stand. Make these hoes explain their fucking case. Make these hoes explain why they need to be part of the black family, because you're not fucking part of it. You were never part of it. You was always hedging your bets between decent fucking black men and these fucking punk ass MAGA pieces of shit. Don't think I ain't fucking seen that shit. You ain't part of this shit, motherfucker. What the fuck I look like showing ultimate deference and respect for somebody who has never got this track record of showing respect on the outset? I'd be a goddamn fool to do that. It's fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. You got 50-year-old fuck niggas right now. One who thinks he's a style consultant started shit between two niggas who I fucking like. Where's this punk motherfucker at right now? Nowhere to be fucking found. Don't worry. That's what the fuck you did the last time. Other 50-year-old fuck niggas trying to fucking dress up ran throughs in this bitch like something you need to be fucking fucked with. Teamed up with actual femininity level 2 black male female fuckery coaches. They're all part of the same team, folks. They're all part of the same fucking team. They all see the shit. They see it coming down the fucking wire. They ain't gonna have no motherfucking actual representation if black men get their shit together. Black men separate from this shit from the first beginning. They have nothing to teach because they ain't got no fucking results to show. Paul Bryan, it is an old lifestyle, man. Dude, listen, man, like my uncles was telling me about motherfuckers who didn't come back from Vietnam. My grandfather told me about people who didn't come back from World War II. He told me about generation that didn't come back from World War I. Who done left this bitch and fucking got a better fucking life, just not fucking with this domestic motherfucker. This shit's been on forever. Forever. It just have an acronym associated with it. But I ain't letting none of these motherfuckers off the hook. None of them. From the same motherfuckers who sat back and watched these bitches get created, now they want to sell you access to the same bitch that they watch get created. No embarrassment. This is why people don't fucking respect us, because we don't clean our own motherfucking house first. But we want to tell motherfuckers what the fuck we want from our goddamn government that we don't even vote for. Well, we got these fucking MAGA pieces of shit just fucking sitting in this bitch trying to sell us fucking goofy shit right in front of our motherfucking face. But I know your fucking secret. You ain't shit without your bitch. Everything in society is based on access to a certain type of bitch. I know this shit. I've always seen it. So how the fuck is the people who's been there, who so-called call themselves leadership, who's trying to fucking do all this shit, is somehow trying to sell you back into the same shit that they haven't even proved that they're even part of or that they're even better of? How the fuck that shit even happen? They must think we some grand fucking fool, right? They must think that shit. Because at the end of the fucking day, I looked all these niggas up. They all pieces of shit, frauds and fucking phonies. Files on all these punk niggas. We ain't gonna never be able to get past this shit without these motherfuckers in charge. There ain't nobody in charge in any other fucking society that fucking works. Any society that fucking works have nobody like this in charge of nothing. How the fuck are we gonna be able to have better kids if these so-called better bitches ain't picking better men early? How the fuck are we supposed to build a community with inexperienced men, fuck babies, and bag ladies? How the fuck are we supposed to do that? Could you look cross-cultural and tell me somebody who's had the level of track record that most of these women who want to be taken seriously right now, 35 plus, that you was able to build a community out of that shit? Where are they? You got people in third world countries without running fucking water and electricity who ain't stooped to that level of trying to build their shit with that. But they want motherfuckers in the first world to think that they about to build this shit with that. You motherfuckers got a lot to fucking answer for. A lot to fucking answer for. Because there ain't no motherfucking way out of all the shit that I've fucking seen that we are supposed to fucking move forward with the shit that we got going right now. What's going on, BGS? What's going on, Gab? And a lot of people question my ability to even think that I even should be even part of a system like this. MOT. Why don't you? I'm like, dude, most of these motherfuckers I don't even like. Most of these motherfuckers I don't even talk to. But at the end of the day, if their end goal is genuine, I'm going to have to fuck with them. Whether I want to or not. I think we got to move in a different fucking direction. And sometimes moving in a different direction, you got to take the leadership out that has been misleading this shit in the first beginning. I just don't understand how the people who're supposed to be powerless and the people who want to move in a different direction are somehow saddled with the responsibilities of other people's goals and abilities, not our own. We already told you we're not trying to save no fucking community. We already told you that we want to bring black women with us, but we think that the actual thing is most of them here you can't fuck with. How you think I got to the where I fucking got to? You think I went down to the nearest fucking hood and tried to bring up every motherfucker who actually fucking needed a fucking job in my organization? I'd be out of business. This shit wouldn't work. Yeah, it's a damn shame, Tyler. But it goes before him actually marrying her. That's the problem. The problem is that I'm trying to stop motherfuckers like that from being even able to think that that woman could be that dude's wife. I've seen no pro-black trying to protect any productive black man from situations like that. Because at the end of the day, that dude's game's going to go to her, and that dude's going to feed a lot of motherfuckers because of her. Dude, the information age has given everybody the opportunity to be a productive motherfucker, whether they want to or not. This is the shit Dr. King was fucking talking about. And most motherfuckers don't even want to take advantage of this shit. They would rather reparations rather than work for some shit and move out to like Nebraska or Oklahoma or some shit. But this is what we are, man. Like SYSBM wasn't created to save the fucking community. The SYSBM shit is a actual male happiness thing. You can have male happiness with black women if they want to come along. How many times we gotta fucking keep saying this shit? But the problem is they want to keep heaping loads of bullshit on SYSBM. It's not our fault and responsibility to fix all this shit. No, they want to pigeonhole it right there, Black Devil, into getting ass because that's where they stuck at. It's about dealing with quality fucking people and having a better fucking outcome than what's actually on the table. Yeah, I know. I mean, I watched a little bit of it, but I can get what he's talking about, though, too. Because his points of view do have a lot of relevance. It's just that, you know, you have to be able to separate the actual concept and actually do it in a long form. I mean, you tried to do it, BGS, but I would have to talk to him about it. Because I'm actually part of the movement, you know. I'm not saying you're not. It's just that. Now, I know how deep it is, Paul Bryan. I'm only giving people the shit that they can actually deal with. Chief Rocker, thanks for the $10 super chat. Peace and chief. Thanks so much. It's just that, how are we holding people who are non-pro-black to pro-black standards? I don't understand that. You have a whole sector of people who go across the country with tapes and CDs and all this shit being held to no standards. Being held to no standards whatsoever, man. But for some reason, the people who are actually trying to find shit that we need to do, because I can simplify it. You have to stay away from this person who's been cultured a certain way. Because the person has been cultured to be your fucking enemy. That's the way it is. When I went other places and met other women and other fucking men who actually fucking stood together, they acted like my fucking grandfather who didn't stand for this shit. Now I knew why nobody could come to the fucking house. He told me on his deathbed that the Bible is probably the worst book on the planet to teach out of if other people are involved. But if you can control your house with the Bible, it's probably one of the best books that's involved. But you have to be told at the end of the story that you are to raise your standards above this book. BTS, it's just male choice. They understand female choice. They respect female choice. They just don't respect male choice because male choice is supposed to validate the woman about how much power she has in the environment. So the men dress that up as if that's their own power. That's her power over the men in the environment, not their independent power over the woman in the environment. See, people don't understand that when you talk about getting chose, following her rules, her needs, you're approaching her on her level. You mean to tell me that your productivity don't mean shit? That would be true if this was like the Catholic Church or some shit where she can't just walk out of the fucking relationship with all your money and shit. But, I mean, this is different. And you have to understand that most of these people in this environment are so used to going through the cycle of male usury, getting a new dude, male usury, getting a new dude, male usury, getting a new dude. They don't even care about bringing anything to the table because they never had to. Only thing you had to bring to the table was vaginal ass. And sometimes not even that. And they can get themselves another dude. Other societies, when unprincipled women get out of a relationship, the whole community is warned about this person. And they're not able to run anywhere else after they're done with this situation. But in Black America, She's welcome with open arms where the fuck she want to go. But as much as this shit is a woman problem, it's actually separating yourself from the woman so that way the man don't have any actual control over you. Yeah, think of black men. It's for black men who want to build family and leave a legacy. But they have to cut the actual argument down to just sexual obtainment because that's where they stuck at. And they don't understand the power of dodging bullets before you try to absorb them in an environment. They don't understand that shit. Like, there's a certain difference between a water-resistant piece of equipment and a waterproof piece of equipment. Just like with vests as a police, you know the difference between a bullet-resistant piece of fabric and a bullet-proof piece of fabric. SYSBM is only bullet resistant. We're telling you to dodge from getting shot by a certain person under certain circumstances. We're not telling you that they're all bad. We're telling you to have higher standards in situations that you get in. But they try to treat bullet resistant like bulletproof. Like if you dodge, just simply dodge the outcomes of women who don't fuck with you means that you are open to women in other cultures who actually will fuck you up. Like, why would they go to another culture and make the same mistakes? The problem is that a lot of people have a problem with live and let live. That's all SYSBM is. Live and let live. But they're okay with the woman simultaneously living and let living, though, in the same environment. But y'all have to realize that male happiness matters. Most of these 50-year-old fuck niggas in this goddamn sector only concentrate on what the woman wants. They don't even give a fuck about what men want. They only concentrate on what women want, what women's needs are, and all that shit. I'm like, dude, you just wait till men get the actual choice to do business like women do and operate in our own best interests like the women do. They're going to be in a world of fucking trouble. That which has been gained through be taken away through free choice. You truly have to realize, man, that your life is in your hands, man. Your life is not to be promised off to some group of people who don't fucking work on your behalf. You get to choose too. The shit that you need actually works too. All you need is male productivity and product placement. You can get whatever the fuck you want to. You can get whatever you want to through productivity. The problem is most people who are not productive, they don't want productivity to even matter at all. They want a woman's choice and ability to only matter singularly. And I don't think that's a good idea. Because producers should be having all the choices. So I'm just saying at the end of the day, SYSBM is a outcome-based movement based on the life that you live, based on the people who you do not save, based on the household that you create. Because at the end of the day, we have been suckered in the black community in thinking about a community before we think about the household. How are we community minded when we don't give a shit about the household? How are we community minded when we don't give a shit about child creation? How the fuck are we community minded when we don't give a fuck about the outcome of the boys? How are we community minded? Because I can tell you what community minded means in certain people is we need to maintain the system that's currently here. And what's currently here is a system that should not continue to keep going. It may be what actually defines a lot of people's experience in the black so-called community. I'm gonna say niggas that's left. But at the end of the day, this is something that never should have been created. This is something that never should have taken hold in the levels and the numbers that it have been. You think we would have been a level of actual creators and inventors if this stuff was the stuff that always ran black people? Do you think this stuff always would have been that way if we were never able to create families and have actual household that could produce productive black men that would actually want to help the rest of the family? The black family never started with the woman, man. It ended with caring about the woman more than the men. Now, I'm not going to lie. If these black women were turning out doctors, lawyers, and accountants and construction workers on average, I would be totally for them taking as many black boys as they want to away from these black men, but that ain't the case. That's not the case. And you can't say that things have gotten better from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s to now. You can't say that. It definitely haven't got better in my lifetime. It got worse. So if things are getting worse with some segment of people, you're going to have to cut that specific part off and step back from the entity until it gets better. Because you've been taught to care too much about things that are not your responsibility. I see kids right now who have to care about the outcome of their parents before they even care about what college they go to. There are kids out there right now who are working 2 jobs to take care of 4 or 5 people in the house who ain't even working, who gave up on life. But that guy is in such a bubble that he doesn't understand that he's producing for a situation that's never going to be able to yield results for him. And there's a whole bunch of people who see that kid going to work, doing all that work on the behalf of people who do not love him, who will sit there and say nothing while this stuff happens. This is where we are. This is where we are. And the people who simply just want peace for themselves have all of a sudden become the greatest enemy on the planet because we want to separate from something. I don't understand how that works. I don't understand how people who want to separate is such an issue. It's not even about the tenants right now, Ben Cisco. It's not even about the tenants. It's about people's deliberate non-understanding of what the point of the actual movement is. At this point, that's what it is, man. Well, Ben Cisco, like you can't really tell people to do that because SYSBM is about male happiness and being with people who actually want to be a part of male happiness. But at the end of the day, it's still an individual journey. I can't tell you what to do with your life. I can't tell you who to date. I can tell you who to stay away from. Overall, because these Harley Quinns are coming back to the black community acting like they unscathed by the actual events that took place in their life. They're really coming back to unsuspecting black men to prey on their good nature so that way they can slide in home safe. Nobody's talking about this. This is happening all over the country. Nobody's talking about the skin color coup. About they over procreated and then they wanted to turn you in the face of skin color so that way they can keep their gains. Any community is defined on the actual practices of the community, regardless of what your skin color is. Doesn't matter if you're painting pink, purple, or whatever. They're still based on the actual things that they practice within a certain environment. That's what culture is. But they want you to think that culture stops merely at the skin color, not the outcomes, not the inputs, or anything else. And if you get overran by a force like that based on skin color, you're going to be in a world of hurt for all the people that you did not exclude from the experience based on skin color. Yeah, the content of the character matter, dude. You don't see men of other cultures pushing chaos amongst their people. You don't see men of other cultures guaranteeing ran-throughs and actual end of the story that's going to be good in other cultures. You don't see men guaranteeing absolute bullshit to other younger men in other cultures because they got the household right. So you can't really promise people outside the fucking household if you ain't fucking got one. Or if you ain't got no results that people want. Something that y'all have to get is that most of this shit is avoidable right now. And you're going to need to have to avoid it a lot. There's just a lot of people talking. I don't have fast chat on Money Cash. So you have to understand that SYSBM is a victim of the Gish Gallop. All these arguments that are given that has nothing to do with us, everything to do with people's understanding of the actual topic. All right, later, Problack. Has nothing to do with us. That's what it is. That's one of them. Let me show you the other one to which they actually speak from. That's worse than that one. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You have to understand the appeal to authority fallacy. And I'll read what it is and what it means. The appeal to authority fallacy is simply that a claim is simply true because a valid authority or expert on the issue said it was true, without any other supporting evidence offered. Now, you would think this would be coming from people who are in SYSBM, but this is actually coming from people who talk about SYSBM who are not part of the movement. So how can you come in and actually talk about a movement that you're not part of and have all these complaints about a movement that you're not part of? Thanks for the dollar super chat, Justin Martin. So it's like they want us to come in and chase down all their irrelevant points about a movement that they're not even part of. But they understand female choice quite nicely. They don't understand male choice at all. But they understand and respect female choice in the same environment. So you have to understand that you actually have to correct the things within the environment that you're trying to protect before you go after the people who's trying to escape that environment in total. Like, none of this stuff's hard, folks. But when we have an actual system of not protecting black boys from actual outcomes that's dodgeable, these are the things that they depend on everywhere. Yeah, Zero Max, but you can't co-opt the movement with women. We already cut them out from the first beginning. So they're going to have to do it some other way. I know. This is why the movement is genius, because you can't co-opt the movement with the actual thing that they're trying to escape. They're trying to escape the outcomes of the women, not just the women alone. Because the women can be involved unless they produce a certain type of outcome. Yeah, I mean, it just isn't that hard. It just isn't. Got one more minute to speak here, and then I'm going to invite people on. Going to be on for an hour, then I got to roll out. All right, so let me get this link in the chat. So people come up. We're not going to be doing any arguing. We're going to stick to the topic. Why SYSBM is being judged by pro-black responsibility or standards. That's a topic. We're not going to go off on any tangents or any of that other shit. We're just going to discuss the topic in total. It's okay if you disagree. I want you to come up anyway and disagree. But as long as we stay on the topic, this way we can be able to have a meaningful discussion, even if you haven't read the tenets. So I'll just be able to put the link in the chat. I want some people to come up. So hold on a second. What's going on, Game Changer? Hey, Hope, come up if you can, man.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, MLT?
Oh, nothing much, man. It's just that people are trying to hold SYSBM to standards that they're not holding like the pro-black community to. And it's like we're just merely trying to separate from the responsibility of things that we didn't create. So I'm not sure how on earth that could be the responsibility of the people who's trying to relieve versus the people who are trying to stay, unless they can't do it by themselves and they need our help, but they don't know how to ask for help. So I'm not sure what the actual problem is here.
Well, I mean, there should be no responsibility for someone to leave anything, you know? Like if a person wants to quit the Boy Scouts, he should just be able to, you know, go. I mean, the way it sounds to me is that it's a gang mentality. You know, if a person leaves a gang, they're like, oh no, you can't just up and leave. But this is worse and different because we never joined. You know, or I should say SYSBM never really joined that gang. So it's a very weird dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that I don't understand it. I mean, it's like every day there's like a whole bunch of other shit that we have to have streams on, and we should, because if they have actual legitimate criticism anywhere toward I'm like over 2% legitimate criticism, I think it should be addressed. You know, but at the end of the day, I mean it's so weak in comparison to saying nothing that I mean, you know, it feels like you're stomping on insects, but sometimes, man, you have to lay the fucking foot down.
True.
Doesn't matter what.
Well, yeah, that's real, man.
What's going on, King Silent, Tyler T, Spirit? What's going on, man?
We're gonna go to what's up?
What's up, motherfuckers?
What's up?
Glad got the panel tonight, man.
I'm still trying to understand. Like I heard your monologue, and what exactly is the issue at this point? Is what I'm what exactly is the issue at this point with SYSBM and whatnot?
I mean, no, I mean it's kind of like they want us to fix all the pro-black. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just that the people who call themselves pro-black want us to clean up all the pro-black shit that they can't get to before we actually leave, because they was actually going to use us as the labor to take over the shit that they wanted us to do. So they're like, well, on your way out, if you can just clean up the community and fucking marry all these women and take them all with you, then everything will be all right. So like that's the type of shit.
But let's be real. Let's be real. Productive people are the welfare to these people. We're the welfare for them.
I'm so sick of these plantation Negroes, man, at this point. Like, because I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, so it sounds like you guys are saying that we continue this conversation from last night that MOT had, right? We were talking about how there's this 3 million black men in America, and then there's these other 19 million. So we just keep going in circles and circles, but no one's holding the 19 million that represent the 85% accountable. And then, okay, why is everybody talking about SYSBM, the guys that have said openly, I ain't saving nobody, but yet there's another option before you even get to SYSBM, IBMOR. IBMORs have you have a better chance of getting an IBMOR-minded black man to listen to you and come back and save you, because part of their platform is that you have to have a black woman to carry your child in the platform that I read. That's part of the platform. That's what makes it separate from SYSBM. SYSBM says you can find any quality Stargate. They say that the mother of your child should be a black woman in the platform I've seen. I've had mine for about a year, and I've read that platform. So I'm sitting there like, I don't understand this. You're speaking to the dudes that are only one step away from passport bros. So before you get to the SYSBM type of guy, you got to go through an IBMOR step. Then the next step after that, if that doesn't work out, you will get an SYSBM guy. And then from there, you will get what is the passport bros. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, why is there all this investment of time and energy into talking about SYSBM when they have their own little spear, they have their own little tenets that they're developing, they have their own websites, their own content creators. But no one's talking
because their websites and content creators and spears, they all fucking suck. and they look at us over here eating fucking steak and lobster, and they're mad that they can't get any. Like the old saying says, those who can go fuck fine Colombian women, and those who can't stay back here and have regrettable sex with the daggle.
Hey, look. Without results, all you have is emotion, man. That's why they don't have results. They just have emotion.
I made that up right off the top of the dome.
Hey,
no
man,
one writes my jokes.
We be stealing quotes around here and reusing that shit.
Hey man, I done heard a lot of my shit repeated on the Manosphere, just on different shit. But you know,
well then you should give yourself like a hat tip, because that's a compliment.
Nah, I mean it's all. I told y'all, it's all expected. This shit is right where I expected to be, right when I expected to be there. So,
see, and a lot of these, a lot of it's just really just like they're acting as like puppets. Because the truth is, these are. When I hear them talk, I just picture a black woman reading them lines at this point now.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like Arnold Wesker and Scarface, man. Like that's all I see. It's like
what it is like
Scarface doll portion.
Yeah. You remember back in the day where our fathers or grandfathers used to say when they'd be standing on the corner, if it was more than 3 black dudes, the cops would come and harass them and tell them niggas, hey, you got to disperse, right? Now it's the daggle and the maggle. They see this group of black dudes over here having fun. They need to come over here and disperse you niggas, man, because you doing too much, man. You ain't supposed to be over there, eating steak and lobster, fucking fine European women, man. You're not supposed to be doing that. You a nigga. You ain't shit, nigga. Don't you know your place?
Yeah, let me say this, man. Let me say
about maintaining a sexual monopoly over men.
But let me say this. Let me say this before we even get to the women, man, because they make it about the women. But just simply avoiding dysfunction overflows to making better choices about the women. You just avoid dysfunction. That includes better choices in women, not raising your standards, not dealing with confusion. It's not like dudes are just making this about women. When you're productive and you have an established life, it's next in line for you to get a woman that is on your level.
Mm-hmm. Like my man Chris Rock say, man, you supposed to wake up in the morning, walk to the bathroom, look in the mirror and say, fuck you. Now let's go make this bitch happy. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Well, again, I just noticed that, like, the brother was bringing up like the I believe he called it the Gish Gallop, and I know he brought up the ad absurdum fallacy yesterday. So what you notice is that you damn near got to give a class on fallacious arguments just to even try to talk to these people, because they haven't been through that prerequisite step. So you're talking to people that haven't met a minimum standard. So even to have a conversation with them, you almost have to be thinking on a remedial level. And what I'm trying to say is that for black men at this point, like in the minority, the remedial thing is not for you. That's the responsibility of the other 85% of black men who have taken upon themselves to put themselves out there to peacock to say, hey, I'm going to say the community. So that remedial thing, that's on them. I don't know why they keep looking to the 15%. I just don't get it. I'm so lost on these dudes, man. We talk
because
honestly,
they're lying,
man,
bro.
because we keep fucking engaging them, man. Because we keep talking to them. If we keep treating them like the retards that need to sit in the fucking corner, they stop coming in here with this bullshit. But we keep having these conversations like anything they have to say has any fucking weight. Nigga, nothing no niggas say is fucking serious, man. So the fact that we entertaining this shit, like, well, see what we need, man. We don't need to be explaining our motherfucking selves to these fucking people, man.
I agree, and you and I are on the same page in that. See, I've never been in the business of trying to engage the 85%, because to me it's like, look it, man. We're in one lane, you're in the larger lane. It's like being on a highway with 4 lanes, and they got like 3 lanes to themselves, and you in one lane, and you in the slow lane. And for no reason, there's no traffic on the highway. They just swerving into your lane, trying to run you off the fucking road. That's what you're dealing with, man. Just totally irrational people.
And then they ask you, why the fuck did you move?
Yeah, you can't deal with irrational people, man.
Well,
right, exactly.
It's the optics of it that they're concerned about also. Primarily, it's the optics of having a group of people, openly leave. It's kind of like at an event or an award ceremony or something like that, and they don't want to show empty seats in the front row. or anything like that because they want to make it seem full at all times. So they hire people to actually sit in the seats when other people go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. It's not like that. They're concerned about the optics. This is better.
So I get what Game Changer's saying. So Game Changer, you're talking like, so an example of like a restaurant and looking in the window and it's filled with people and you make an assumption about the food versus walking past a restaurant and it's empty and you make the same assumption, but you could be wrong in either situation.
Exactly.
But the reason why
past the same restaurant and people are walking away shaking their head.
Exactly. I get it. That's a good one.
You know.
But the reason why too is if you're there by yourself, there's nobody else to blame. See, by us being there in the community, we were the buffer for their bullshit.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And so now once we fucking leave, you're there to fucking stand all on your own and you ain't got shit or a shirt. You know what I mean? And now these brothers, it's basically shining a light that you were the common denominator the whole fucking time.
Sure.
That's what it is.
100%.
Peace, everybody.
Remember,
hey, what up, DJ?
What's going on,
DJ Kuda, what up, Blair?
It was good. It was good, y'all.
And remember, fellas, we weren't supposed to exist.
Right.
You see, before the internet, before all that stuff, you know, we didn't exist. We were all in jail, gay, or what was the other one?
In jail or dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, or broke, you know. So we're
incels. Don't forget incels.
Well, I mean,
incel one
on them because that means that they have multiple men that they refuse to sleep with.
Now the incel one is funny. Now that little smear is probably one of the funniest ones because in all these scenarios, so if you're talking about a group of incels, you would think that the quote unquote community would be happy to see you go, but for some reason. They put mad effort into the quote unquote incels after last night. MOT and I were talking about his county idea that he talked about a couple months ago. Now we looked at the numbers on counties, on towns. It's very few black people in these spaces that talk about the black church outside of David Carroll. He goes hard on it. But they got $430 billion locked in the black church over the course of 2 decades. And when we were looking at the numbers last night, you could create almost 7,000 towns, housing about just over 7 million people for the amount that has been trapped in the black church. Now we talk about reparations, welfare state. There's no bigger reparations plans in welfare state that you have direct control over than the amount of money that's been put into the black church. Because again, let me say it again, the numbers, because I want you to get this through your head. Almost 7 million black Americans could be living in a single family home just with the amount that's locked in the church over 2 decades, man. Mm-hmm. But see, you don't see them having that conversation. They're not telling you that 7,000 towns could have been created off of the money that's locked in the black church with nearly 2 million single family homes, housing damn near 8 million people. Why are we having these conversations and not them?
Because honest truth is that wasn't the church's purpose. The church's purpose was to come in and rob the community. I mean, it can be done, it should be done, but that wasn't the purpose. I mean, you assume that just because it was the church, it was meant for altruism. It served its purpose.
Right.
The whole point was to rob the fucking hearts and mind of the community, and then it's money. So yeah, we could. I mean, we should. They have the money, but again, that's not its purpose. That wasn't its purpose. They were never going to do that.
So I didn't get to finish my thought. SYSBM really dispels the myth that they, spent decades creating that there are no good black men. So when you vocally leave, you're basically saying, look, they exist. They've always been there. And the whole narrative that they have been spewing that there wasn't any and that they didn't exist for various reasons is a lie. And it kind of puts that lie, it highlights that lie for all of society.
Well, what should also highlight it is the marriage rate of black men, even though being outnumbered, are higher. So everything points to one fucking source, man. Like everything. After we break it down, we look at STD rates. We look at who's having the babies. Right? How are we even having these conversations anymore? We've basically done the rocket fucking surgery of black relationships. All right. Like, and people are still asking these. Well, I don't understand. We've been having this conversation on YouTube for 5 fucking years. We've answered all these goddamn questions. Why are we still having this argument? I'm trying to figure out where the confusion is at.
I feel like it's just escapism. SYSBM and Free Moving Brothers are just today's scapegoat. Get the attention off them. Because these dudes see that's like the catnip of the moment for a lot of Black American women. So they're like, well, okay, well, if the Black woman is interested in those guys and what they're doing, then let me show her that I'm against them too, and that makes me look good. That's all it is.
Right.
I mean,
I'm fighting for my queens. Meanwhile, they're behind them saying, y'all not protecting us. Y'all don't care about us. Y'all don't do anything for us. We just got to stop engaging niggas because for real, we're the only people that's giving them any type of leverage. We're sitting up here arguing with their quote unquote purposeful I wouldn't say their definition of what they think SYSBM is. And the thing is that they're gonna cannibalize themselves soon.
Well, they're already cannibalized.
They don't have nobody to argue with, so we gotta let them cannibalize themselves. We gotta sit back and watch them eat themselves.
I mean,
they know what it is. I think people playing
30 years now. It seems that when you look at since the 60s, that they've been I think that they're running out of bodies to cannibalize, and that they're looking for new bodies.
Yeah, that's what. And but see, even I said it last night on Game Changers channel. That B1 sector, they're not even really accepted by actual pro-blacks or the conscious community.
Exactly. I called that a long time ago because the thing is that B1 network, that coin of that phrase came from like Jason Black and all those kind of guys, Tariq Nasheed, Professor Black Truth. I ain't never seen none of these people that be throwing up the black woman first thing over there.
Right. Well, that's because it's a veil, kind of like feminism. Feminism is a veil. Like gender equality is a veil that you can hide behind, and it sounds good to everybody. But when you really dig deep into it, it's been hijacked by misandrists. You know,
it's to get whatever agenda you need off. It's a cover up just to get whatever agenda you need off. It's a smoke screen.
Exactly. So you get these BW1 people, you know, or block first, the block. You get those people in a group, and they're like, yeah, we B1 and you should be B1 too. But everything we talk about is about assuring your penis goes into, you know, a particular vagina.
No, but
and the funny thing is that's a gang too. Because they try to say SYSBM is a gang. That's a gang.
No, they're a gang because it's blood in, blood out, except there's no blood in. You didn't actually sign up to be in this gang. You know? Like nobody was.
But that's a scam, gang. You said that they want to police your dick going into a certain vagina. Actually, they want to police your dick not going into any vagina. Because again, these dudes ain't bringing you no black woman to choose or anything like that. They just don't want you having a choice.
Right.
I mean, well, they actually are bringing black women for you to choose. It's just that you're not choosing them because they're disgusting.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll bring you a Lizzo from time to time, and you know, you get like a dirty mop and poke her with the dirty end of it, you know, to stay away. But that's it.
I mean, but as long as you've been starving and you've never been eating anywhere else, a Lizzo would seem like a meal at some point.
You'll gain the taste for it, Lizzo. Yeah. Well, the thing is that even the conscious crowd, they cannibalize each other. If you look over at their debates and what they're talking about, see, black people for the longest time, all we do is gather knowledge and use it against each other. You don't see us debating white people because they already know our history. It's us that's been gaslit, kept in a boy's position, and learning our history, and then now all of a sudden we want to whoop on other black people with knowledge. So we got to sit back and let them cannibalize each other. You know, they want to debate against stuff that makes no damn sense. They want to come to their own conclusions about whatever it is. Once we stop engaging them all together, and that's the thing, they know once you leave well, we're already gone damn near. You know, the niggas that's on here talking about it. You know, we're kind of just spreading the word about what it really is. But once you leave, they have no choice but to eat each other.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
are,
I'm truly not
Well,
even
I mean,
worried
they
about
eat each other. They've been eating each other on the block well before whether we were there or not.
Yeah, and they don't have a solution
that's
for that.
Pretty much what they do.
Yeah, they don't have a solution for that.
Well, this one is the game changer then, because this can build on what he sent. Like, so you've been, putting the scrolls out there. You've been really studying this thing. So on one hand, you got all these black women that come onto these social media spaces and they talk about these black men aren't protecting me, da da da. Then they're out here doing all these hoaxes saying that they were kidnapped by black men, being lies. But when these women are interviewed, almost 9 out of 10 times and asked what kind of man you want, they say, I want a real nigga. I want a thug nigga. I'm just,
yeah, they don't check their women.
No, it's worse than that. It's worse than that, Stigma. They don't even want the thug nigga. That is the worst. That is the dirty little secret that they won't tell you.
Well, that too. The thug nigga don't want them.
That is the dirty little secret. The thug nigga wants anybody. Trust me. I got sisters, but the truth of the matter is that they don't even want the thug niggas. And that is something that they keep from us, because basically what they're doing is they just want to encourage those who promotes their image, who promotes them. So they'll make it seem like, oh, this is what I want. They'll tell you that to try to instill a sense of jealousy in you, the same way they use swirling. But real talk, they don't want any of those motherfuckers. They don't.
Have you been looking at social media now? There's a whole bunch of black women running around with white men.
Oh yeah,
you haven't seen them do one video. Oh, Megan Thee Stallion getting kissed up on by G-Eazy in bed and all that. Where's the video for that?
I done whole streams on that shit. But I done went through streams. I done did at least 3 streams where we done went through what these white zaddy threads, man. And it's disgusting. But what's funny? So we've been talking about Kobe, and one of the arguments that is put out there by the matriarchs or whatever, they say his money went to his Mexican wife and their family and their children.
Like they care about that, but
I mean, I could have went to Brandy, but
same people haven't made no comments about Aisha Tyler, the comedian that used to be on The View and all them TV shows, having to pay her bottom shelf Brad over $2 million, had to give him one of the houses, and had to give him a couple cars. They made a deal where she didn't have to give him her businesses, but she had to pay out the $2 million cash. Then she had to pay out a house and a car. I haven't heard nothing from these same people counting Kobe's
money. Like a wealth transfer, King Sigma, that should have tracked down. It's like a wealth transfer from her to Brad that everybody seemed to have missed.
And he went out and got a white. Now, here's what's funny about Aisha Taylor. She went and got a white woman, and he went and got a white woman after the relationship ended. But yet, here's someone like a Kobe Bryant who was with his wife for 20 years. They have biracial children, and he died in his helicopter crash. So she's a widow. She actually had to give her money away because of divorce. But I haven't heard no comments about that.
Well, I mean,
because they're full of shit.
Productive black men have been the target. Everything else you see, the Brads, the swirling, the what do you call it? The Pookie Ray Rays and shit like that. That's all an illusion. You are being targeted for your productivity, period. Instead of going straight after the guy and offering what he wants, they try to wait you out and wait for the thirst to kick in. And then it's like, oh, well, here, you take what you can get at this point. SYSB threatens that. It threatens that something severely. It's like, look, you're not going to wait around for, the thirst to kick in. That's stupid.
Oh, wait until Valentine's Day. They're going to be showing off their white boys, and then they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone.
DJ Kuda, you haven't seen some of the threads I've looked through. I've done some on-air threads, man. We just gone through those like white zaddy threads, man. It's incredible now where the black girls are. Now, you know how like when a white girl or Asian girl wears like cornrows or something, They
culture appropriation. That piece.
Cultural appropriation, even though it's their natural hair. They're on here. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of black women getting white boys with fades, having them wear like how black men, how we style our goatees. You don't see no black men in them threads for the most part. They're like, hey, whatever, you go do what you. But if a white girl just happens to put up a picture of her, or an Asian girl or Latina, and she has cornrows, cultural appropriation. I'm just, dude, I just think that you're talking about people that are like almost in a psychotic, like a completely psychotic state at this point.
Yeah.
They're afraid of being replaced, man. That's all it's about.
Yeah, because they can't compete. They wear their hair like those girls that were mad that was on Marco's streams. As a little girl, they will grow their hair really long and then cut it. And in that culture, when you cut your hair, it's a sign of release. Releasing evil. Well, some people believe it's releasing evil spirits, but then they put it up for sale, and guess who goes to the store and buys it? Or is fighting in the Asian nail shop, or stealing it out of the hair and beauty product store, are women. Quote unquote.
You're women.
Keep in mind that these are the same, phenotype women. So basically, they're just lazy.
It can't be just me, but I think we just get so fucking used to hearing fucking crazy shit, man. Maybe it's because I'm smoking.
No, we're desensitized, man. We don't have it's like we're boys, bro. We don't have a real grasp of life until we leave out of here, and then we see it, man. I'm telling you, when you come back from actually being overseas or going somewhere, you are going to treat these women like shit.
I told you, Game Changer, that's how I was, bro, man. Like getting out the army, man, and coming back to the States. But I was saying that because we just hear the statement they were fighting in a hair shop. Just to hear and think it and say that out loud, man. Like,
wait a minute, was this a bunch of Asian girls?
No, it was a bunch of black women, and they were fighting because they got caught stealing
shit like that.
I like what Charles Merchant just said. He just because I have noticed no one's caught out the fact that all this dick policing is just another form of dirty macking.
Yeah, it is dirty macking.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I tell you.
Because we talk about it from the dick police standpoint. They don't understand that lingo, but you need to start telling these dudes, y'all some dirty macking ass niggas, man.
Yeah. That's because with them it's all about sex. With them, everything is about sex. They think you're leaving because of sex. Everything is about sex.
Because that's what they would do.
Yeah, that's what they want.
I said that that B1 was a mating call. I said that like 6 months ago on Obsidians. It's just a mating call. It's their way of saying, hey, look at me, I am. But the thing about it is the mating call is going unanswered. Like they're making it appear as if they're answering it. Like a perfect example, it was on somebody's panel, and I think it was Deity and Top Cats. I want to say it was Top Cats that.
Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah, Deity. It was Top Cats and I think Jessica.
Yeah, whose panel was that?
It was your panel.
Have they ever seen these women?
No. It don't matter. It don't matter because they have a vagina.
Right. Yeah.
Allegedly, Game Changer.
Allegedly. No. It was Fantastic's panel. Cortez was fantastic. Yeah.
But they never seen these women.
They never seen them. Jessica at least has a picture. But Deity has nothing.
I guess none of you guys have ever been catfished in person before, because I have.
Yeah, no, I have.
I haven't been catfished. I feel it out.
If she's not real, she is that.
You got men coming to a space of where brothers claim that they're thinking brothers, but they're sitting over here fighting and peacocking over what could potentially be a fat, unattractive woman, or possibly a transvestite for all they know.
Or just a flat out fucking dude on the other end.
Wait. It doesn't matter what they look like. I mean, that's, as long as they have a functioning vagina, it does not matter to people like that. So basically,
they don't know if the woman. They don't even know if it's.
They don't care because they don't see them as doing anything. They just see it as a natural thing, like nothing to lose and everything to gain because pussy is so valuable.
Right.
So anyway, so the guy was hitting on the purple circle, calling her queen every 3 seconds, like queen, oh my queen, oh my queen, and she was like king, and I was like, hey, Deity, are you gonna fuck this guy? and complete silence.
Wow.
Complete silence.
Wow.
Look, it's all bullshit. She was just appeasing just to encourage the listeners to be on some queen shit. But when it comes down to it, they're not gonna fuck these things.
Well, that was before she put her 100 nigga army on me.
But she's
that was bad. That was bad.
Oh, it was bad. Look, to me, they're all the same, bro.
But she's also getting non-sick. Another thing that you brothers might be underestimating is that when these women are doing what you said, this alleged woman was doing, that's hella validation and non-sexual attention that you're giving that alleged female.
Yeah. Okay. I got something that I need to read here to y'all, and this is something this is another fallacy that people are actually doing that they don't understand that's happening. That most of these people, I'm talking about the fake sexually compromised people, the fake ones. It is called the appeal to popularity fallacy. Using popularity of a premise or proposition as evidence for its truthfulness, as kissing ass to fucking women. This fallacy is very difficult to spot because if we use our common sense, what maggots try to use is their common maggle sense. So like everybody's doing this. Everybody's kissing the ass of these bitches. So this is what they use against you. Like this is when you have sexually compromised dudes, fake ones who come into this sector, who have all these complaints against SYSBM, but they actually are living the SYSBM lifestyle, but it's popular to bash or think that they're bashing SYSBM. The only thing they're doing is bringing actual attention to the situation that they're in. Like, let's take a dude like Swag Boy. He says that he gets anything that he wants, but I'm like, but are you restricted to a certain environment? He says no. So I'm like, so you're making better decisions and choices based on the decisions that you have. So how is what you're doing any different than SYSBM?
I heard.
Wait a minute, MOT. You're saying that a man who lives in Latin America with a Afro-Latina or at least half Afro-Latino woman is not SYSBM? I'm confused.
I mean,
they're in denial.
This guy, if he made a better decision than what's domestically available in the United States, because we're trying to dodge the actual outcomes of choices on average. Above choice, like above average choices are not what people are trying to get away from. It's average choices that we're trying to get away from. The outcomes of it.
Well, you know, Field Advice Show got in on the SYSBM thing today as well.
Oh, of course, because he's not that.
And I believe his wife is a white Latino.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these dudes are they're literally out of their fucking minds at this point. But here's the thing.
Here's why also, just saying.
Well, here's one of the reasons why the fake SYSBM guys and the fake Passport Bro guys, what they're doing is that they figured out, like, okay, these ministers sell the story of Sugar Candy Mountain every day to these hoes, and they're getting, 200 billion every 10 years off of it. Why should not? Because they know that even though they're living they're living in total hypocrisy, they know that their audience is not rational. So they see someone like a Field Advice who now he's getting in on the SYSBM feeding frenzy, and he has a white Latina wife, and they say, well, as long as I talk this pro-black woman first stuff, these women don't care. And they're actually right.
For now.
Yeah. But they're not even about that shit like that.
Too, but they will turn on them eventually too. But it was weird to see Field Advice getting in on the SYSBM conversation, and he has a white Latina wife. And I'm like, these people are out of their fucking minds in 2020, bro. You can't, these people, there ain't gonna be nothing built, okay? It's just
now did the B1 crew back him up?
I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw
No,
they
don't. Wait, hold a second. Somebody came on. Well, I don't know.
Yo, Minotaur.
Yeah, Real. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother, man? I just wanted to say, man, been a long time fan of yours, as well as watching you a lot on the O'Shea Duke Jackson show, man. And I want to say shout out to all the brothers on this channel. I just I got on here tonight, man, and I just kind of wanted to say something about it. I consider myself to be a dude that kind of come from two sides of the track, and when I say two sides of the track, As far as what I've experienced with these hoes, it's like a season. My season be up, my season be down with them. So I've actually experienced being in the bedroom with them when they talking to the dudes playing games that they don't want to talk to. And I experienced being the dude that they kind of bullshitting with. So it's like I got kind of both perspectives on it. But I'm gonna kind of touch on something that I think Obsidian said one time. I don't usually listen to Obsidian on every word because he just strikes me as angry, but I do have to agree with him on this much right here. And this is what I kind of got to agree with him on. As far as when it comes to the women and stuff like that, I feel like him when it comes to this. If they're not doing anything for you, if they're not sexually interested in you, y'all not having that type of interaction, I feel like at the end of the day, true indeed, they don't owe you anything. They don't got to sleep with you. They don't got to deal with you. However, you don't owe them anything. You don't got to deal with them either. I feel like overall, whether it's with women, family, whoever, deal with only the people that benefit you in life. You know, that's kind of my mindset. And as far as like going overseas, man, I love traveling. I got a passport. I just landed a job yesterday that's going to allow me to travel, give me way more money and benefits. I don't have no kids and all that type of stuff. So I totally see where dudes are coming from. Like the reason I would never totally bash dudes that say that they want to kind of go overseas to deal with women. Well, my whole thing is I'm a man. I have hormones myself, and I understand what their biological urge is about. So even if they are going over there just for that, not saying all brothers go over there for that. Hey, man, my whole thing is I'm not going to be mad because, like, look at it like this, right? If he in California or Atlanta or somewhere else and women won't give him that good time, but they walking around you passing that ass to everybody else, that's kind of insulting. Who am I to tell a dude at that point, like, hey, you must stay here, tough it out with these hoes that don't view you as nobody important or they don't view you as sexually interesting when you can go on a plane, whether it's fake or whatever it is, you're going to be around some better looking women that's going to give you that thing that you can't get at the crib. Who wouldn't want to do that? You know what I'm saying? That's called happiness. That's called happiness.
Real, let me put something on your brain because I agree with everything you said.
Okay.
You want to know what's more insulting than them passing the pussy to somebody else?
What's that?
Leaving it empty.
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Okay, so say there's a woman, right, and she's not interested in a certain guy.
Mm-hmm.
How it is worse for the guy for her to be with another guy because that way he could just say, okay, this guy has something that I don't have, and he can accept that. However, for her to just leave it empty means that she would rather not be with anybody than be with you or the other guy or the other guy or the other guy. Basically, each and every single woman who is rejecting each and every single guy who is interested in her.
Mm-hmm.
So when you really think about it like that, they have gone SYSBW for quite some time.
Well,
this is what I got to say about that. This is my perspective on it.
Even when lesbian.
This is what I want to say about. This is what I want to say about that. This is what I want to say about that. Whether it's from the male perspective or female perspective, right? I don't got no problem. Here's the thing. If I'm surrounded by women that I'm not sexually interested in, I may do the same thing. If I want them, as a matter of fact, here's the thing. If a woman is not sexually interested in me whatsoever, she don't want what I got to offer. To be honest with you, instead of her bullshitting around and wasting my time and shit like that, like they've done so many other men, I would rather them ignore me and all that because guess what? It saves me a lot of time. I may be upset because at the end of the day, like I said, we got a biological urge. But there's more than one way. It's way more women than there is men. There's different states we got 50 different states. Not only that, we got different countries with different culture ideas. So there's different ways that men could get sex, especially if you got your shit together. So my whole thing, whether it's relationship, whatever it is you seek in relationship, or whether it's just sex, whatever it is, you can get some kind of female companionship. My whole thing is I wouldn't totally be mad. Now I may not fuck with you once I figure out that you don't fuck with me, but that's all around the board. If I figure out whoever don't fuck with me, the people in the neighborhood or whoever it may be, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not mad at you. You're just done in my eyes. We got nothing to talk about. I only deal with people that's beneficial to me and my cause. So if they're not benefiting me sexually, whatever it is, like I said, all around the board, I don't care if they sit it out, don't deal. If they do deal, my whole thing is I'm going to take a note of it and be like, okay, well, you're not doing nothing for me. Just like a job. If you apply for a job, right, and you're not working on that job, you're not going to get that 401k or none of that shit until you start, right? You're not beneficial to them until you start, right? Okay, so they're not fucking with you and giving you no benefits until you're on their team. That's the same way I view women or anything in life. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just came here to pretty much just say, man, like I had like different views on it. I used to look at the SYSBM thing like it's kind of funny, like damn man, they left the state, but at the same time, I kind of put myself in their shoes. Like I said, I've been on both sides of the track, man, and I know these hoes out here can be somewhat of a headache. So it's kind of like I would have a choice to make too. Like, hey man, if I can go over here and get it, you don't want me to get it over here. I'm not selected in this room, but I'm selected in this next room. I don't know nobody who got the option to go to the next room who's gonna just tough it out and stand in that room, but don't nobody want them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be happy at the end of the day. So I don't feel like there's no harm, no foul on nobody's part. Whether a woman want to go where she selected at, or whether a man go where they selected at, I just feel like, hey man, go where the people accept you and go where you happy.
You see that the average woman is big towel, and she has no problem letting you know that's what she is. That she's going her own way and she's doing her own thing. For real, right. So real, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Why do you think there's a big pushback of a group of brothers mad that men are leaving?
Well, I mean, this is just my opinion. I can't read their brain, but this is what I would have to say. It's more of an ego thing, man. If I look at it, it's kind of like, let's say like I'm in a room with you, right? And the women are selecting you or whatever's going on, and they're not selecting me. Everybody like to get their little shine off, I think, in their own little special way. So if you got me over here, I'm not doing as good as you're doing with these individuals. It makes me look like the loser and make you look like you're so on top of your game, right? Mm-hmm. But if I just go over here and opt out and I just be like, well, fuck it, have your game with them hoes. They ain't giving me what I want. They giving you what you want. You win that game over here, but I'm a vamp out on both of y'all ass and get this game popping over here in this other location. Mm-hmm. Okay, now you can't really look at me. I may still be a loser in your eyes, but I'm far away from you. I ain't thinking about you. I'm still getting the same nut you getting, probably from a better looking woman. Now, who knows whether it's fake femininity or whatever she give me overseas. At the end of the day, I'm still getting the same goddamn good ass sex. Whatever the fuck you getting over here, I'm getting it over here now. But you can't no longer look at me now in this room and be like, oh, he's a loser, I'm a king, because I'm no longer in that room with one of y'all. So you can't feel superior. So now only people that's in the room with you, it's people that is fucking her the same, because all y'all still fucking her. She giving you the ass just like she giving old boy the ass as soon as you turn your back. So now you don't feel so special.
Talk, nigga.
That's you don't feel so special now, because it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, damn, now we equal. Now I can't walk in the room. Now that's another thing. Like when you look at celebrities and look at average people, the reason celebrities feel so special when they walk in a room full of average motherfuckers is because a lot of people are not doing what that celebrity doing. You don't have the money that celebrity has. Right. So that gives them a notion to toot their nose in the air. Now I don't want to take no pictures. Who the fuck? Hey, security, get them the fuck away from me. So it's that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Going on. Like
do you think like you ever had like you and your homeboy, you know y'all about to get some women, right? And let's just say you secured your girl, but your homeboy, he kind of being like aggressive with his girl, and right, he fucks it up, and she's like, okay, I want to go, and then the other girl got to leave too, so it's like both of y'all don't get no pussy, right? Do you think that it's a with your analogy, do you think that it's one of those things where it's like, okay, one dude's leaving, so the other girl's like, you know what I'm saying? The other girl's like, well, why is he leaving? You know what I'm saying? Now my friend, she gonna act up. Now, you know, we can't get our thing off. So, like, I don't know how to paint it. I had it and then it fell apart. Anyway, but it's like, do you think that? I'm
gonna say this though. Women are followers by nature. So just based off a little bit that you said,
right?
I don't expect a woman to be an independent thinker for the most part. Nothing against women. I love women, but I understand that if we in a room right full of women, and her homegirl, let's say she want to get slutty with one of us or whatever the fuck is popping off, and her homegirl gives off a certain signal, that woman is going to give that certain signal. And the reason I know a lot of women, I ain't talking about all, but a lot of them are followers by nature, because I have used women to a certain degree to make other women want to, you know, be intrigued with me sexually that wasn't studying me. Or I've used women to get other women to sleep with me again on the second go round, and they probably wasn't thinking about it. Or they did it
pre-selection,
they did it because they thought another woman was trying to give it to me that looked better than them and all that. So once you understand like females and how they operate for the most part in terms of following and looking at what their friends do and always looking for all this extra validation, some of this shit, I don't even get mad at them no more because I've grown to understand them. Only thing I kind of get mad at them about now it's probably like the time wasted shit, like they giving out the number and not answering. Just little
Yeah, the games. Yeah.
Little games that they come with or whatever. But I understand it's a numbers game. I come to understand that too, and that's why I said like when I went overseas, you know what I'm saying. I went to Jamaica, and then with this new job, I'm about to start off.
Okay.
I'm about to be going even more places, right? I got my passport and all that, and I ain't got no kids. So I saw a difference, you know what I'm saying, in the women. Now, don't get it wrong. This is what brothers got to understand, too, for a lot of guys who want to go overseas. There's nothing wrong with it. Yes, they'll give you a slight difference than what the women over here will, but you have to understand the women in these other countries, they got some game as well. So I'm going to tell you where a lot of guys mess up at, right? I was in Jamaica, and some dudes, right, instead of you going over there enjoying yourself with these beautiful women, they fucking with you, you cool to them and all that, they feeling your vibe. Some of these dudes be so depressed about the hoes back here that wasn't giving them no ass or no whatever the fuck until you taking it all the way to Asia or Jamaica and you standing before these women, you talking about, yeah, because back home they didn't do X, Y, Z. So guess what you just told this woman, right?
She's not worthy. Right.
Yes, just told you. You just basically told her that you a lame ass dude that don't know about to really fuck with. So guess what she's gonna do now? She gonna start to view you that way, even though she's from a different country. So now you gave her ammo on how to come at you and how to play you. But if you just play it cool and just be cool, calm, and collect, but at the same time, don't give them a pedestal like they so much.
Right.
Better, they do things differently than American women, but they'll play your ass too. And this is how they'll play your ass because they're 10 times more feminine than the women over here. They're a little bit more cooperative. They're not going to appear to play so many games. But see, the one thing that they thinking about longevity. So these chicks over here, they not thinking of it like that. So of course they're gonna play phone games, all the stupid shit, they thugs and all that.
Yeah, but they can spot you real easily because you come to them with your heart on your shoulder. And the thing is,
and then another thing, right? Another thing is this, right? Like the fact that they're over there, they're trying to really get out of their situations. So they not gonna do all that stuff right then and there. You just have to have enough game, like from just having experience over here dealing with these females to when you run across them,
you have enough capacity to deal with them.
Have enough capacity to know, like, okay, they cool, but I'm not gonna put her totally above Shaniqua because if I let my guard down, this bitch could play me too now, and she can easily do it because she giving me all the stuff that Shaniqua not giving me back home.
What you're saying is absolutely true because I did a stream on that. I did a stream that you guys, when you go over there, the first thing that bites at you. A lot of guys, we're hopeless romantics when we leave out of the States, and we see the first thing that shows us femininity and cooperation. Yeah, but the thing is that you don't want to. You got to understand you've been deprived of certain basic respect and things that you should have been getting here with your women.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a fact. I agree with that. I agree.
That's what I'm saying. That's what gets you. That's what gets you because you were so deprived here. That's why I'm saying I'm glad that I had kind of like both sides of the fence instead of like just one side. How some guys
I had cousins and experienced that. We're sorry to cut you off, but you saying you have both sides of the fence. I got family members that would be like, "Yo, watch this," and they'll do stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." And then that's how you got both sides of the fence. Like I have family members that would show me certain shit that like the tricks that they used to do, and they'll have a dude talking to a chick, and dude could be right there while she talking to her boyfriend on the phone. That shit crazy, yo.
Yeah, women do all kind of stuff, bro.
Hold on, man. Let's get the conversation back on track with the
the
topic, which is the.
Oh, my bad, MOT.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
I wanted to kind of throw something at the topic because that's what I was trying to get a game changer, but I wanted to let you get it out. But
go ahead.
Game changer, we talking about this SYSBM thing. We're talking about this minority of black men. What do you make of it that on one hand, you got these group of peacocks that you were mentioning, claiming that we're the select, we're the alpha, we laid up with hoes all day, 24 hours a day, but they spend more time on these spaces than you and I talking about what we're doing. I don't get it, man.
Well, it's a mating call, basically. I mean, they feel that
definitely.
If they support them in their PR campaign, because that's what it is. It's a PR campaign. If they continue to do that, then they will get some, low-valued vagina. But no, they're not getting it that way. Nobody is getting it that way.
Crazy.
The marketplace. The 80-20 rule really is not good for anybody, not even the men in the top 20%. It's just not. You know, I mean, if you believe these guys, most anybody who claims this, unless they're like, you know, a jawline nigga on top of being extraordinarily wealthy, and even then you're going to exhaust your sexual supply if you go if you have a series of one night stands. So, you know, they're lying, and it's a mating call. They're broadcasting.
Because even if
and
they
it's
are
subconscious
getting
too, like it's subconscious. Game changer, like what you're talking about, like that mating call is out, but it's subconscious, and the crazy thing about it, we're actually picking it up. It's crazy.
I'm trying to. Women have very high social intelligence. So what's going on is that men tend to follow who they consider to be alphas. And in the black community, the alpha tends to be the guy who is getting the most pussy. What these dudes talk about doing is
even if they are getting it that way, the thing is that the type of work that they're putting in, they know the juice ain't worth the squeeze. You gotta damn near kill a bitch just to get a minimum amount of cooperation. And the thing is that she's selling you this image that, oh, you're gonna get the maximum amount of cooperation if you're this and if you're that. Half the dudes that I know how to cook more meals than the women that they talking to.
I don't.
Can I
That's
say
a fact.
Where's the trophy? Why is there a trophy going around for dudes that are bragging? Like, just think about it for a second. So you just imagine a dude. He says, "I'm an alpha. I'm the select. I got all these bras, right?" And then you ask him, "How many bras that you're fucking don't got a team of niggas just like you?" I've never heard any dude tell me nothing. Right. I've been like, okay, so you got all these hoes you claim, right? But how many of those women don't got a team of niggas just like you that they just recycling through? I ain't never heard one give me an example of one that was like this virtuous, beautiful woman that he was just dicking down so badly that he was the only one. No, this nigga's bragging about being one of like possibly 10 to 20 dudes on the cock carousel, and somehow that's what they call alpha these days.
Because to tell you the truth, even if you're choosing right as a man, all you really need is one broad.
So this is something I wanted to say real quick.
One dime is better than how they say it, one dime is better than nickels or something like that.
You don't need a whole bunch of hoes. You know, two pies will get you a dime.
This is what I want to say real quick. This is something I just thought about, right? A lot of guys I noticed too, a lot of guys kind of get mad at. I mainly hear guys talk about the thugs getting women, right? And I'm gonna tell you something about the thugs when they become successful, if they ever become successful. If you notice something, right, a lot of those women that were sexually intrigued with those guys turn around and they don't marry those women. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but those guys don't date. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, T.I. don't strike me as a straight out thug, but I'm gonna just use him as an example, right? Out of all those women probably that grew up in the hood with him, right, that he probably smashed before he became successful, right? Guess who he's fucking with now? A bitch that looked like a tiny chick, tiny. You know what I'm saying? He's not messing with none of them chicks that probably held dope for him, or none of them chicks back in the hood.
Okay, brother. Tiny was with him before he became.
Hey, one of y'all got a lot of background noise.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying in general, like. No, I'm talking about when they're out in the dirt, right? When they're coming in these neighborhoods and they're around, it's just you in the neighborhood, right? A lot of the chicks that he might have been going to school with or might have been messing around with around the neighborhood. I'm just giving an example. A lot of the guys, once they become successful, even if they came from that lifestyle and they changed their life, they never reach back and get those chicks. So my whole thing is, like, when a lot of guys be looking at the women like, man, you choose this guy versus that guy, it's going to be a losing strategy anyway, because even those guys long term, for the most part, not in all cases, for the most part, when he get in a position, or if he ever gets in a position to do better, he knows in the back of his mind, damn, this ain't the kind of girl, even though you held dope for me and all that, even though you held my robbery money and all that, those guys become disloyal to those women. So now what those women start to probably do later on down the line, they probably start to look for a guy who kind of got his stuff together. And then it's crazy now that all this stuff is popped up with the internet, telling different guys about how these women look at you as a backup plan. So a lot of this stuff is kind of like slowly for surely, stopping. It's not going to completely stop, in my opinion, but I think it's slowly for surely over the years is definitely slacking up, man. So I don't see them winning at all anyway.
Women didn't prepare for the internet. They didn't think the internet was going to
definitely didn't.
They didn't think the internet was going to show their whole nature on full display and everything that they're doing because they're so arrogant to brag about the things that they've been doing for a long time. You could definitely look at women for the past 5 years on the internet, and it only takes you a year to just sit back and just study, and you'll be like, okay, I got it. I got it.
What they're doing, fellas, is as far as the reason why I brought up the social intelligence point is because what they're doing is if men are following the guys who seem to be ladies' men, then the ladies realize that they can pick their leaders, that they can pick the leaders of men. Like they could just pick a guy to be the leader of all other guys, and it really doesn't matter what qualities he has. Now, the person they're picking is the ones who promise to lead these guys into solidarity and loyalty. Blind loyalty. So, but the thing is that they're not paying these guys. They're not actually with these guys. Like if one of these guys can produce half of what Marco Grande produced on Fantastics panel, that would be one thing. That would be amazing. I would be amazed with that.
So hold on, Game Changer. Has that brother? So you're saying that Marco has produced more receipts on attractive women than all the dating coaches in this sector? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. In less than an hour.
Hold up,
yeah. And he will be on my panel Saturday to produce more.
So hold on. So you got all these dating coaches out here.
That was just like the starting lineup. He's going to present more on my panel.
So one dude is on your channel producing more receipts than a whole clan of dating coaches in this area.
Yes, they're like sitting on the couch. They're cooperating. They're listening to him. They're not on their phone. They're laughing. They know he smashed all of them. Like, yes.
King Sigma. Wow. King Sigma.
And if Thinking Man's Templar is listening, bro, hook up with Marco. Figure out where Marco is and hook up with Marco because Thinking Man's Templar is in Medellin right now.
That's crazy, man.
So, I mean, Sigma, you want to hear something crazy?
Go for it.
One of them, right? The youngest one, I think. She was the smallest, right? He said, I don't like box braids. I like it natural. He said this on Fantastics panel.
Her braids were fresh, too.
And I liked her braids. The next day, she was on my show with an afro.
And laughing and smiling.
He's just a regular dude living his best life.
He has a $500 a month apartment in an El Camino.
And but you got dating coaches on here telling you how, well, I'm gonna give you this line or that line, and you just pay me $9.99. All this stupid shit.
Or you got me dressed in some fucking suit that's fucking less fresh than mine to fucking talk to average fucking bitches. I'm like, dude, y'all don't understand how much of a fucking fool you've been played.
Right.
Yeah, they
are. Women have lowered themselves so much to the point that they've put a top dollar price on basic shit.
Right. Now
you can't even get basic shit out of them.
And the cold part is that they could do that. If they picked a guy, if they picked an American ADOS guy and just threw it at him and say, look, this is what you get when you stay loyal, and agreed to be on the video, then that might convince some brothers, but they aren't even willing to do that.
They can't do it like
they just won't.
Like here's the deal.
They could just get like 5 of their most attractive females and say, we love B1 men, and just rub on his chest in front of the camera and shit. They won't even do that.
They can't do that.
MOT said they can't do it.
Yeah, but real talk, it's because we keep having this conversation like they're the ones who want relationships. These women do not want to be in relationships.
True.
They just don't want to say that shit. Because then all the problems that they face are their fucking fault. But again, they've made it clear they want to fuck who they want, which is cool. All right.
Or no,
like at the end of the day, you gotta own that shit.
So is there gonna be a B1 like a B1 rap video coming out soon, like Project Platinum Don't Say? First gonna be like B1, and you're gonna have all these hoes rubbing on the oil doing a little chorus. B1 network, B1. They can't
I think to a certain degree, SYSBM is male sexual liberation also. It's a whole bunch of things wrapped up in one. They can't even handle it.
Well, civilization is a very fragile thing, DJ.
You have to realize this. What Marco Grande did, so-called the top motherfuckers in the dating coach industry couldn't show you that. This is why I always fucking told you that the shit was fake. 100% fake. If you got this type of Game in this fucking culture, you're fucking full of shit. Not in that fucking district there that you say you're doing all that shit. It's fucking impossible.
Right.
If fucking Weinstein's on trial, what the fuck you think a black motherfucker who claims to be doing that shit is? You mean tell me none of them hoes went to the police? None of them?
How you a dating coach if you can't get above a coastal 7 is what I've been trying to figure out for the longest. Like, to me, if you're going to promote yourself as a dating coach or whatever, you got to be able to get a better looking woman on average than the average guy. So if the average guy can get 6s to 7.5s on average, and you don't have a full roster of 8, 9s, and 10s, I just don't understand this shit, man.
King Sigma, I got to read a series of books and take a 40-day course.
Yeah.
Just to pull a 5.
I mean, yeah, that's the part. That's what it seems like it's being marketed. Like dudes is trying to market to you what, okay, for example, what my father or what my grandfather would have got just working at Ford Motor Company. These dudes are marketing that shit like they're actually selling you like the golden fleece or the covenant or something like that in this 90-day plan. And they walk around and they can barely get a 7. I mean, these.
King Sigma, by the way, that 5 that I'm getting,
yeah,
she doesn't know she's a 5 because social media, and she wants to get the bag.
Right, exactly.
I mean, so here's the other thing about it. How are you getting these high quality motherfuckers when you got the plan? Somehow the women gonna give you the plan on how to play all the other women in the market and give them less power. How the fuck or why the fuck would they give you the plan on how to fucking do that?
I have no idea.
Well, I want to answer your question in the chat room, Sigma. You were asking about why do alphas spend so much time on non-alphas.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Okay, well, you got to understand, they know some things about women, and women follow the leader. Now, remember, what they're doing is a mating call. You know, they're doing it for the women that are watching, primarily, not the men. Mm-hmm. And women want to fuck the pastor, the quarterback, the team leader. So basically, they want non-alphas there following their lead so they can appear the leader to the women.
Even though the dudes don't even want none of the offerings that they're peacocking for, because these dudes they're trying to get away from those low C women. I mean, so for you, it's just like these dudes that the non-alpha is just a proxy for an unnecessary peacocking game that he's already won.
Exactly. They're feathers in his peacocking game. Exactly.
Well, the shaming tactic is really, oh, you don't have enough game to get the minimum amount of what we get.
But what if the dude said, okay, so Game Changer admits, I'm a nerdy guy. I don't care too much about sports. If Game Changer says, I'm a nerd, what? I don't understand what the peacock, he already told you, I'm a nerd. Cool, you won. If you already won and everyone's saying you won, those are your women. You got you a whole hen house of hoes, you know, a bunch of chickens. What the fuck are you worried about me for? I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Because they're fucking liars. And that
that's why I tell you to ask them, why are you mad that men are leaving the community? They're gonna say, I'm not mad, Game Changer, just your part, but right. And then proceed to explain to you why they mad that grown ass men are leaving the community.
Here's the thing. These are my channel analytics right here. Mm-hmm. Show me the channel analytics of any of these hoe ass niggas in the manosphere. I'm talking about any dating coach. I guarantee you this number right here is 47% or higher.
What does that number say? What does it say, MOT? It's kind of small.
Gender, male, female. This right here is
4% female.
I'm not sure why I got more women watching my channel now. I'm not sure.
You know that
harder lately.
You got 47%.
Yeah, 95 and 4.3. I guarantee you, most of these dudes who talk down to and cape for women, that's just like 50 or 60% at best. Mm-hmm. They can't tell you that shit.
So what's going on?
I think those women are studying because we got some select dudes up here. What you looking for, bitch?
Feeding them into at some point.
What you over here looking for, bitch?
Imagine how scarce pussy is to these guys. Because that's the strategy, is to make it scarce. Imagine how scarce pussy is to these guys, to where, you know, if 1,000 people watch a video and 400 women are watching your video, and one in 400 may or may not fuck you. Can you imagine the effort? Like, honestly, that's what they're doing. They're hoping that 1 out of the 400 women who watch their video as you sing their praises will just open their legs to you.
But what about when someone like you, again, so if Game Changer says, so you got the alpha in front of Game Changer, he's like, you ain't got no game, you lame. And Game Changer says, yeah, you're right, I don't have any game. After he says that, why is there a continuation of the conversation? He said, hey, guy, he said, alpha guy, you won. You can have all those. You got them. I'm going over here. I don't understand the continuation of the conversation and the stalking of the non-alpha black male. Why is there this?
Because you're trying to understand fucking morons.
Yeah.
Because
because when I do what you described, I refuse to be their beta. You know, so I think that's what they're trying to get you, like, oh, like, no matter what, I'm not going to follow you because you have nothing that I want, and no matter what, and even if you did, I'm not willing to do what you did to get it. So it's a moot point.
Okay, so Game Changer. So let's say you got this example, right? So you got the guy like you who says, I'm a nerd. Y'all all the hoes, you can have them. Now you go over there and they claim someone like you is going to the Dominican Republic just to get pussy. But then, so let's say that the alpha, now he goes to the club every day, right? Every day he's at the club trying to get bitches. Now he goes to the club to get pussy and you accept it. You say, hey, you went to the club to get pussy. But then he sees you going overseas. Say, you just going overseas to get pussy. Now he's going to the club and it's nothing but fives in there, right? One trip and you go fuck a 10. He's like, you went there to get pussy. But every day he's at the club chasing after fives.
Right.
Well, I guess I think, like, the only way I can make sense of that, I think the guys are looking at it like the far extent that you went. They probably looking at it like, well, damn, you went all the way on the other side of the world, and I went around the corner.
But
so, like
see,
they
don't see their own bullshit, because I guaranteed you that alpha spent more money in the club than the dude.
Let me finish what I was going to say. Let me finish what I was going to say.
Because you didn't hear.
I think, like I was saying, like, I think it's a.
Let me clarify for you because you're going too far.
He wants to be heard, brother. He wants to be heard.
What I said to you, real. I said if one dude, if Game Changer being the nerd, goes to the Dominican Republic and he's getting nothing but 8, 9s, and 10s, and this guy is going to the club every day right here domestically, he's actually spending more money than Game Changer, and he's chasing after low grade hoes. How is that equal if you're chasing after?
This is what I was saying. This is what I was saying. They probably laughing at the fact that they're looking at, like, okay, you had to get on a plane and go to further amount of distance, even though I get what you
he just addressed that, man.
I totally get what you're saying, but I'm saying I'm trying to think of it from their perspective. I think they're probably looking at it like, well, damn, I went around the corner, I didn't have to leave my backyard, and you had to leave the backyard. But to me, like I said before, like if you listen to what I said earlier, I don't care how nobody get it. I just know, whatever I got going on, however I want to get it. If I want to get it in the States, if I want to get it away from the States, it is what it is, regardless of how I do it. I don't think nobody should care. But at the end of the day, like I would say, go where you celebrate it, go where you appreciate it. If around the corner, like I said, every man is not created equal. So if you can go around the corner and get it with ease, if I get a little bit more stress trying to go around the corner like you did, okay, around the corner may not be the best thing for me. It may be the best thing for you. So I shouldn't feel bad if I have to go on a plane, because me personally, like I said, like I love to travel, but I don't travel just for the women. I travel because I love the idea.
Brother, you all over the place, my man.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Because
super chat got filed off for Dollar Watch said, okay, thinking of your
okay. Well, no, but I get your general point. You're basically saying that that they're shaming the other guy for using effort. Okay, I want to say this: very few guys walk around the corner and get pussy. I mean, pussy is not Doritos. Let's be clear. So very few guys have it like that, especially if it's of reasonable quality. So that's a fallacy. And I can't tell you, I have met a couple, not many, but I have met like less than a handful of guys who do have it like that. And they never talk this alpha beta shit.
They don't dirty Mac though.
That's how I know. Yeah, well, that's how I know that anybody who's talking to alpha beta
shit is nothing but dirty Mac and period.
Yeah, because the thing is, you don't need that much women. You know how much attitudes and things they come with, like after sex, like it's like
No, I get this is all I was basically saying when I said around the corner. I didn't mean literally around the corner. I'm just saying like
Brother,
some
we
people.
understand.
No, it's literally around the corner.
I thought you didn't understand. Okay, cool.
In my real life, I have never seen real shit. I've never seen the collection of dick policing, dirty macking, cock watching black men in my life until I came to this space, bro.
Yes.
In real life, I've never encountered this many dudes that do it, and especially not dudes claiming that they got a lot of bitches. All the dudes I know that got mad females, they would never have this kind of conversation.
Sure. And it's confirmed too, King Sigma, because they're making hours upon hours of video saying the same shit. That's why when you ask them, why are you mad that dudes are leaving the community, and they say they're not mad, then in the next breath, they're going to tell you exactly why you're mad and why you dudes are weak and you don't have this amount of game and all this other. Like,
but DJ Kuda, what happens when I just gave an example. Game Changer says he's all those things. He said he's weak. He says I'm lame.
Yeah.
I can't get no bitch. You can have the hose. Now, why is there a comment after you admit all these things? Yep, I'm weak.
Yeah, there's no answer to the trick question. There's no answer to the trick question.
Because they're being rejected. That's why.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, it's easy to do because trust me, I never claimed to be the real thing, so I'm not. You know, I know dudes that, you know, I mean, I get my fair share, but I know dudes who just blow the shit out of water, you know, best friends for 10 years, and they just break up because one of them wanted the fucking first type dudes. When I meet these dudes, I'm just like in shock and awe. And these dudes never talk like that. They never, he could just walk up and say, hey, you're not getting it like I get it, you know, why you, it's like,
but the thing is, Game Changer is being the real thing is not even worth it. You're basically at the end of the day saying, look, I overpaid for something that should have been basic. I could pay a whole bunch. I could pay a whole bunch more for something that I could have just basically went somewhere else and got and wouldn't even have to activate my ego because I'm overpaying.
Right.
But Silent just said the whole thing about
but they're overpaying with time though.
Yeah, because it got nothing to do with it. At the end of the day, you're burning a cigarette on both sides. It got nothing to do with the game. It got nothing to do with money. It got nothing to do with status or clothes or anything like that. But it got everything to do with your time. You have to have time to get game. You have to have time to get money. You have to take time out of your day to get the status that you want and go buy the clothes that you want and do all of those things. At the end of the day, the woman is a side effect.
Well, I can back up what you just said. If I had the choice,
fact, I don't have to work for ass, and even if I had to, it's like what 45 seconds of how much money I make an hour.
I would take back. I would take back at least a dozen women that I banged in my life. I would give them back to the game if I could get back the time I invested. Where, for example, two things that I wish I wouldn't have done. I wish I wouldn't have started having sex before I was 17, and I wouldn't have invested so much of my time, you know, between like the age of 21 and 25 chasing bitches, because all I got to show for it long term is a few good memories, and that was it. I would have rather invested that time in becoming a Rhodes Scholar, or doing something like that. So I'm just saying, I just think that the priorities that often are placed above in these conversations is a joke, because I've been there. I ain't gonna put my number out there, but I don't put in work. You know what I'm saying? But I put in a lot of time and effort, and then to come to find out, now I'm in my early 30s. I'm like, damn, bro, you invested all that time. You can't even remember half of these hoes' names or it's like in your memory.
You don't know their last name or none of that.
You got vague pictures in your mind. All these women that you slept with, the only ones you can remember are the ones you really was in a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of these bitches are like some far off memory, or you look in your photo album. Oh, okay. But you lost all that time that could have been invested in something way bigger, is all I'm saying.
But think about it, King Sigma and everybody else on the panel. Even as a guy, you're under the illusion that you had a sexual choice. When you get to where King Sigma is talking about and you just really sit down and reflect, you ain't really have a sexual choice. They sit up there and try to say that, oh, men are practicing patriarchy and stuff on us. No, you're in a matriarch. you do not have a sexual choice. And when you sit up there and say, okay, well, I'm gonna do SYSBM, or or go SYSBM, or I'm interested in SYSBM, and you're getting shamed, it's like, hold on. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have a sexual choice. If you have men telling you, yo, why are you going over there to get that? You never had a sexual choice. The matriarch has gaslit you.
New York. When I went to New York, I had a dude that claimed to be a friend of mine, and I was like, I'm going off to New York. I just wanted to go to New York because I'd never been. This dude was telling me all the reasons why I shouldn't go to New York, and he had never even been to New York, and I couldn't even. I had to discard him around me after that. I was like, he was like, why you going to New York, man? It ain't nothing in New York. You don't know nobody there. I'm like, bro, that's why I'm going, because I don't know nobody, because it's the largest city in America. But I think it's a lot of cats, man, that they done built up so much feminine energy in their bodies that they don't even know that they worse than a female these days. I rather listen to a bunch of cackling females than listen to some of these dudes. Real shit.
Yeah. At least you'll get some type of comedic value out of that shit.
Yeah. At least I get some pussy out of listening to hoes.
Right, right.
They worse than a female, and it ain't nothing in it for you but a bunch of empty rhetoric and a headache and some Tylenol. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, but your sexuality is contained though, because the white man can talk about whoever he wants to smash. But once you get to talking about standards and who you want to smash, even within the community, not even venturing out, even within the community, I don't want no fat bitches. Well, why you don't want no fat bitches? You're fat shaming. Why you don't want no fat bitches?
Because most of the bitches fat. That's what they're saying.
And in the community,
the bitches wasn't fat. They wouldn't be saying.
It's funny because in the community, it's the slim ones that'll give you shit for not wanting to fuck the fat ones.
Oh yeah.
Maybe like 15 years ago, I was like, wait, what? But this wasn't about fat. This was about fake hair. I was like, but you have real hair.
Hey, y'all, never trust a black woman with no ass, bro. They're the main ones that sneaky and shit like that.
I met a black girl. She was fine as hell with some nice, beautiful titties, but she didn't have a big ass. But she was nice though. But I want to read what Xanatos Clutch put in the super chat before it goes down. He says the key is steady shit with 1, 2, as few women. Let me see, it's going up. And he says, which other societies provide or make practical to have? The community makes you jump through hoops. Yeah, the shit and everything about the alleged community, man. It's just it's so bad at this point.
It's so basic when you go to other places. Like nobody spend this much time on basic shit outside of Black America.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about, the remedial shit. But then when we start talking about things,
let me just make this one statement. It's gonna be a long one. When I hear about this community shit, man, I swear to God, sometimes I'm fucking glad I was an orphan.
Damn, it's that bad, huh?
That in a weird way, I can see.
I'm gonna break that down tomorrow about this.
Yeah, that in a weird way, that's some irony shit right there, Keith.
You know
that's some good irony right there, bro.
You know, but it ain't really irony though, DJ Kuda, because I've heard a lot of brothers say that not this is gonna trigger a lot of people. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it was BJS. I saw him in the chat. Maybe it was him. I don't remember. But whoever said, they said that white women do a better job of raising black boys than black women.
Oh yeah, that's a comment. Well, look at the first black president.
Maybe if we had more, and this is gonna trigger a lot of people. Maybe if there had been more black boys raised like Silent and not even knowing they black from, they probably would have been better off. And I mean, that's fucked up to say that, but I don't want to put that on BGS because he was in the chat, and I swear it might have been him that said that.
No, he made a whole video on it that went viral.
Yeah, BGS said that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was him. So
I can recall him saying that.
So just think about that shit right there, what Silent said, and the fact that the white woman is doing a better job of raising competitive black boys. You might think that a lot of these black boys might have been better off if they was in Silent situation, man. And it's fucked up. Don't get me wrong, it is foul what I'm saying, but
when you look at the abortion rate versus what Silent is talking about is true.
Well, you look at the abortion rate, white women with the system, though. I mean, like, I don't know if the system is better than the rank and file black woman. But I mean, Keith is a definite positive example.
Yeah,
I'm saying my particular. Now, I wouldn't wish this shit on nobody else. I'm saying that I had a certain capacity to fucking get through everything. So me personally, I think because sitting in foster homes and shit, man, you got a lot of time to fucking think and do the woe is me and what the fuck, you go out and you see kids with the families and shit. So it's just something you don't have. You're like, fuck, I don't have a fucking family. You go back to the group home or the orphanage or whatever. And so it never dawns on you, 30 years later, that fucking situation, man, real talk, was the best. Man, if I would have actually grew up with my fucking family, man, I'd have been fucked, bruh.
Now that brings up nurture versus nature argument.
No, that brings up me because I wasn't nurtured or natured in any fucking scenario. My scenario was fucking horrible. Yeah. So I'm not saying that the foster home itself. I'm saying me and the way and the trajectory, the path that my life ended up going. Like everything in my fucking life, I've never been a fucking religious dude. I'm Mr. Logic, Mr. Get at it. And I've always argued against Bible people. I don't know what it is, man, but at this point in my life, man, I got some goddamn angel, bro, because there ain't no motherfucking way, man. I ain't saying what it is. I'm just saying the universe obviously has something different in store for me, and I was the right fucking dude to lead that path. I'm just saying the right set of circumstances would not have presented myself had I fucking been with my family. You know what I mean? I would have had a hood ass fucking mom sitting around hood ass situations with hood ass fucking family members.
True.
Now,
you know what I mean?
He's basically saying that the circumstances was better than his parents.
No, not better.
Or
I'm saying
he's better off.
Right. I was basically able to, even though the situation was fucked up, it was the perfect set of circumstances to lead me to the point that I am right now.
Did you know your parents at all, or you 100% never even knew who they were?
No, so I'll tell you the story. So I was in a fucking orphanage and shit. I'm like 14. So I'm from Cincinnati. At the time, I'm in Dayton, Ohio, in this fucking orphanage. Then I moved me up to Dayton. And so they were kind of like, I was getting older and, I had a little bit of potential. So they didn't want me in the orphanage. So they were trying to figure out what my next move was. So it was either go to a foster home. The next foster home was in this hood in Cincinnati. If anybody know, it's called Witten Terrace. So anybody from fucking Cincinnati know what I'm talking about. Don't want to go there. So, or I could go to this fucking boys home. All right. So basically, you go down and visit. They send you what's called a respite visit. Go to these two motherfucking places for the weekend and then come back and see which one you think might be a good fit. That type of deal, right? Mm-hmm. So I was what they call a permanent ward of the state. I was supposed to be a ward of the state until I was 18. You hear about them foster homes and stay in foster homes and they get released and then they end up homeless and all that shit, right? Mm-hmm. That's what that was supposed to be my scenario. So I ended up visiting with this fucking group home. The group home was led by this black chick, older black lady, that she made, one of this boys home after her dad, whatever. So anyway, when I got to Cincinnati, I just started calling in the phone book every single, my last name, and my other last name. And it's not Lamont. So, but anyway, I finally, somebody on the phone picked up, was like, I'm calling like, hey, you guys had a son named Keith? Oh, no, bye. Finally got to, like an explosion went off in the fucking back room. Then they're like, who the fuck is playing on my phone? I'm like, no, I'm serious. It's Keith. Listen, you guys had a son that you ain't seen. That's how I met my fucking family. They drove fucking right away down to the group home.
Damn.
I met with my mother, a couple of my uncles, one of my aunts and shit, right there in the fucking living room. The lady actually could have lost her license because I'm not supposed to have any contact with my family. So on a fucking visit like that, I ended up getting on that phone book because this is who I am. I found my fucking family. And that's how I met my fucking family. Or that's how I met my mother's side. Then what ended up happening was like 2 weeks later, I come home from school. This old lady is sitting in the group home kitchen. And the group home lady was like, you know who this is? I'm like, nah. She was like, this is your grandmother. So, word got around, came back, damn, keep us down here. That's how I met my grandmother. Then I met my father because my father was locked up. So then it ended up being I go to visit him. And then that's how I kind of learned my family. But I've been like close but real distant. But I always kind of move around and shit. So that was a long story short to give you some insight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
That's crazy, bro.
Damn.
That's crazy, bro. I feel for you.
Well, then I got out the fucking group home.
Yeah, exactly.
I was on my own, player 17. I started valeting motherfucking cars. And then I made a hustle because I would basically because I would work third shift. And, we'd have a lot of famous people, shit like that. The Bengals and shit like that would stay. So I'll fucking hustle. Hey, $50 a part. Y'all don't have to check in, shit like that. So I'll be hustling shit. So I started making money. Then I was like 22. And I started my sales career selling cars. And dope at that. I've always been a people person. I can talk any motherfucker body. That's my background. See what I'm saying? That started my sales career. I went from a top salesman to the mortgage game. All right. I told y'all about mortgage. That's how I got into mortgages. This was back in, 2006, 2007. And we making 12, 15,000 a month. I'm killing it. Lose that motherfucking gig, working for HSBC, mortgage crash. Boom. I'm 28 years old. Right. That's when I went to the military, went to the Army, right? But I went to the Army because, as a foster kid, I always glorified the Army. Like, I always thought, I never had a family. I always say, man, that fucking brotherhood, plus I get to go do some cool shit. I don't really got no family to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was able to do the military thing, and I was able to do some super special shit, to say the least. I'll say that. And I think I was able to do that because of my background. I think, one, I have moral flexibility, if you will, and I didn't have any fucking family. So if let's say my dog tags don't have my actual fucking name and social security number on them like the most of them do. So you go down, well, we don't know nothing type shit. So anyway,
Shit, I'm gonna have to light a joint for you. God damn.
Hey man, it's been good. It's been a fun life, man. So
damn.
and then I had to get out the military. I was gonna be a lifer. I actually got accepted to WOX, which is like their warrant officer training school. Got that, and then got fucking cancer of all fucking things.
Man,
coming back from deployment.
Man, sorry to hear about
Say
that.
what?
Did you beat?
Oh man, it's all good. Beat that shit.
You beat it.
Army saved my life. They spent $1 million on me at Walter Reed. 2 years rehab. Boom, 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 boom. That's why I'm retired Army. You know what I mean? So,
man, I'm glad.
After I got out, hey, anytime, bro.
And then what's the crazy part? You will say, "Hey, sweetheart," and the bitch will be like, "Nah, bitch."
but now you starting to understand. Do you understand why I do not give no fuck,
bitch?
Like, you understand why I have the personality I do? I'm straight up. That's
right.
I don't give a fuck. I done dodged plenty of motherfucking bullets, physically and fucking and literally. Yeah. That's why I say, man, I'm so fucking surprised, man. Wazzy Qua's a motherfucker, man. God damn, man. Like, I love that shit. I love getting shot at, man. I love fucking firing my weapon at people too. Be honest with you.
See, when you say the serious stuff that you're saying, I guess that's kind of how I see these kind of conversations. Like, that's why I don't like to engage too deeply in it, because, man, there's so much real shit going on in the world, man. There's so many challenges that people are going through trying to solve the problem of their existence every day. And it seems like a lot of these conversations get dragged into like some high school cafeteria type conversations. And I feel like people
are stuck in high school though, King Sigma.
You said what?
They're stuck in high school. This is why. How come they can only point to the bitches that they got in high school?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, and that's why I just kind of let it go. And
wait, are you saying that these guys are like some Al Bundy niggas?
Yeah. Man, I don't think they're Al Bundy, bro.
Not Bundy, but like they're like, oh, you didn't take such and such to prom. It's like, well, she's fat now and have kids. What are we talking about?
But a lot of the guys on this side had better looking women that we took to prom than a lot of those dudes do. I got the receipts to prove that.
Oh yeah.
I would put my
my man Salah.
I would put
about Witty Terrorist then, player, in the chat.
I would put my prom picture up against anyone on the other side that's so into the dirty macking and dick policing. I'll do that any day.
But that's the thing, them dudes don't have game, because any nigga with some game would have been like, okay, shit, bye, shit, more bitches for me. Yeah, shit, I can finally have 3 wives. I wanted 3 wives.
Yeah,
that was such a catch. If they're the best option.
Yeah, that always put me off what you just said, because I'm like, okay, you got 10 dudes in a room and 10 women, and 3 dudes leave the room. You still got 10 women in the room for you 7 dudes. Like, something is wrong with these dudes. I'm starting to, something is really wrong with these dudes. They care.
But we're gay. They're mad that niggas are leaving, but we're gay.
Exactly.
We're incels. We don't get no, like, come on, man.
They more concerned about the dudes leaving the room than the females that's actually in the damn room.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like
it's something deeper.
Yeah, it's some deep shit going on here that they not dealing with, and they're trying to use everyone else as scapegoats. I don't get the shit. I'd be happy if I was in a room and there's 10 women and there's 10 other dudes and 7 of them leave the room, and now we get 3 apiece and one gets 4. Shit, I'll take that deal. I'm not worried about the dudes that left the room, but these dudes, that's all they're worried about. Matter of fact, they telling the hoes, hey, we got to go where them dudes went to. Nice meeting you. We got to follow where them dudes went to.
Well, the thing is that we're in Manosphere Island, and their women are sneaking to the island to mess around with dudes over here. They're sneaking to the island to say, what are you guys talking about? Look at MOT's analytics tell it. It tells it. Women want to be over here. They're masochists. They like to hear their own shit get spewed back into their face. You want to know why? Because we remind you of the boyfriends that got away. That was telling you about yourself, and now your dumbass have to get to 40 and figure out what the fuck was going on. We're not interested in women that's going over to She-Ra 7 and learning about femininity at 36 when you should have been hardwired for it. You're 15, 14, 20 years too late. Should have been a real woman back then. Now you're mad that niggas are going to go get the better deal, and now all of a sudden we're fucked up. Well, you should know about better deals. Don't you like shopping? Aren't you into bargains? Shit.
Girl, thank you, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Fuck this shit.
Man.
These hoes give me a headache.
I see that we got Xanatos and MGTOW Flight. And then go ahead, Silent, but I want to let you guys know that Xanatos and MGTOW Flight joined, so they should get a chance to talk as well.
Hey, I think why I get so frustrated with the dagger on the panel is because I don't allow that shit in my real fucking life, right? So when they get on the panel with the nonsense, even these dudes, man, like I can't take that. I don't have the patience for that shit because I'm like, I can't just get it from around you. And if I can't get from around you, I have my hands on your throat, and I can't do that. So I gotta listen to your bullshit, man. Like you on some fuck shit, man. Like
it's torture.
And again, this whole why are you niggas leaving? Like we done answered that fucking question 1,000 fucking times. And then and like I said before, motherfucker will, what is coming on the weekend. Y'all gonna hold a fucking panel. Right. These dumb motherfuckers gonna come in y'all panels asking the same dumbass motherfucking questions, making the same dumbass fucking statements that just tonight you've already fucking answered. And then they gonna pretend like, well, no, I'm just asking questions. All I'm doing is trying to understand. I'm not really doing what I'm doing.
Right. I didn't know, man.
Hey, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, man, with this bullshit and go on somewhere at the little kids' table, man. If you don't know shit, shut the fuck up. And open your ears. Motherfuckers don't never know shit. Ain't never left Memphis. Ain't never left fucking Gary. Ain't never left motherfucking Detroit telling you about Columbia. Man, fuck out of my face, nigga. You ain't even seen Columbia on TV. Fuck out of my face.
Yeah, I've always wondered how dudes that never even been to these countries that other brothers have been to know so much about what those men are doing over there. But I want to let Xanatos and MGTOW get their time to rock the mic. But that has always been the funniest thing. So none of you dudes that do the most talking, or you don't know what those dudes are doing, but you know everything about them because you see the world through your lens. So you say, hey, this is what I would do if I was in their shoes. So let me project it onto them. These dudes is just. I just wish that they would just go their separate ways and leave the rest of us alone, man.
They do the most talking, yet they don't have no comprehension of what we're talking about.
No comprehension whatsoever, man.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hey, before I get started, I just want to say, man, it's an honor to be a part of this distinguished panel from Xanatos, Game Changer, King Sigma, Kuda. But Silent, I want to talk to you, bro. I want to, and I'm gonna try not to get too sappy because it's crazy, man. I was just thinking today.
And my bad. Who is this, brother?
This is MGTOW Flight.
MGTOW Flight. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, I listen to you a lot, man, and one of the things I want to say is that I kind of feel you on. You got to have patience up here, man, because you hear people and you hear them saying stuff that don't make sense, but you got to be patient and let them. You got to give it time.
you know, and I know how you feel because it's frustrating. But also, and the reason why is because you and I have a lot in common, bro. And that's the second thing I wanted to say. I was
What's
just
that, bro?
thinking the same exact thing you said today. It's crazy. It's like you read my mind. I was on the plane. I just landed in Denver, and I just left Charlotte, and I'm from the Carolinas. I'm in Denver right now, and I'm in the process of moving here. And anyway, I'm leaving it all behind, man, like family and everything. I'm like one of the first ones to actually move to the West Coast, and I'm actually moving further out of the country. Eventually, I already got my transfer in. We got a base in Guam, so I'm gonna set up in Guam, right under the Philippines. But anyway,
Nice.
yeah, man, this airline business is a blessing, man. Back to Silent, man, like Silent Story, you kind of answered a question. I've always wondered what life would be if I wasn't adopted. And 1 second, guys. 1 second.
Nah, you good, bro. Heaven forbid black men are human.
I'm thankful, but at the same time, I went through some shit. You know what I mean? I was in, my mom almost killed me. I was 3 months old. My mom just died in November, my biological mother. But anyway, 1 second, guys. Let me compose myself.
Nah, you
Let me
good.
hold
Get it, G.
frame. All right, so here we go. Solid.
Respect, bro.
I went through foster care, but I wasn't old enough to remember it. It was me and my twin brother. I was in a body cast. I was about 3 months old when it happened. I was in foster care for like 2 months with I had some white foster parents, and then I ended up at about 3 months being with the people who finally adopted me at 3 years old. They just said, fuck it, we might as well. We had them this long. They had 6 of their own, and they adopted 9 of us. But throughout my whole childhood, all the way up until probably about 15, I had lived with other foster children. So I saw the foster care system, and there's a lot I love, but there's a lot I hate about the foster care system. It needs to be completely overhauled, number one. But anyway, like I always thought about like what my life would have been like if I would have never been adopted by those 2 people, how they changed my life and how they influenced me. They were not perfect, but if I thought about it on the airplane today, if I would have lived with my mom and my dad, my life would have been fucked up. And it's weird because I told myself, you know, they kind of did me a favor, man. They kind of did me a favor by the situation being what it was. And hearing you say it tonight, man, it was just like, wow, I was just thinking this. And the second thing I was gonna say, man, like another thing you said, I'm a tough motherfucker, man. Like I done been through some shit, and I look at other people and they be tripping on shit. And I be like, man, that ain't shit, dog. Like,
All right.
you tripping on that?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, I could tell you some stories, especially in South Carolina. We ain't got no buses. I'm gonna tell y'all something. That song Anthony Hamilton got, "Coming Where From I'm From," that's part of my life right there. Coming from South Carolina, Anthony Hamilton, big ups to him. He in Charlotte. I met the guy. He's a good friend of mine. Great guy. And he made that song, and that struck home to me. And that's how my life has been. Where I'm from, you got to get it out the mud. You know what I mean?
Right.
And,
That. Yes, sir.
and so like a lot of stuff you said, like you go through life and you just look at people like, yo, you tripping on some dumb shit. There's more to life. And I hate to really be sappy, but like I was thinking about
it's
it on
all
the
good,
plane
bro.
tonight. SYSBM, man.
Bro, you good, bro.
Hey,
You good, bro. You gonna be okay, you know? Everybody
Nah,
gonna
man,
be okay,
motherfuckers
man.
gonna come on here and be honest and be
I'm
fucking
so
men. Just a
thankful.
part of that, man. I respect that, man.
I'm saying this to say that I'm so thankful for SYSBM, man. Like it's deeper than bitches, man. Like it's
You are SYSBM, bro. We've been
Hell yeah.
SYSBM since birth, man.
Hell yeah.
It's saving lives is what's happening. It's saving lives.
Yeah. I'm gonna go, guys. I'm a little emotional.
Hey,
look, man, take a shot for us, bro. Take a shot for us, bro.
Congratulations on moving out to Denver, man, because that's what I've been telling these cats out here, the ones that are stealing that red pill rage. Like, man, sometimes you got to take the show on the road, man. Stop staying in the same fucking city all your life.
The good news is you can smoke great in Denver. Congratulations.
Right.
And
Shit, go find somebody that got some runts.
You know, when you feeling the way you do, just go down to your local fucking
pop-up shop
and get your nice indica. And
You got the
and luckily for him,
yeah, MGTOW Flight is good people's too.
Oh, that's what's up. Shout out to MGTOW Flight. Luckily for him, if he's in Denver, Denver is what I like to call an SYSBM sanctuary city.
That has got to be my favorite white talking black guy right there. Is that Xanatos?
Yeah, Zan Man.
Zan Man in this mother.
Man.
What's good, bro?
Hey, what's good? Yeah. Look, shout out to the panel. Shout out to all the good work you all been doing. I'm see this is what I like to see. Men who are open, willing, and have taken the charge. You know, it's funny how a lot of these panels have individuals who come on here and think as if they want to make us believe as if they don't know what they're doing or they're discovering. Look, if you're gonna find your red pill, SYSPM, MGTOW, whatever it is, you'll find it. You will find it one way or another, especially with the internet and social media, which is basically the internet for the everyday folk. You're going to eventually find it. Anyone who wants to be saved will eventually save themselves one way or another. And to those who really want to save themselves, they will not come here asking questions, playing damage control for 5 hours at a time. We had an individual here who, and by the way, to the silent, salute you for your service, and thankfully we've seen, salute him for his service, and salute the PA for actually putting tax dollars to good, useful ones. But yeah, as far as
I put a nice amount of bullets downrange for my country, brother.
But yeah, as far as MGTOW Flight is concerned, see, this is what needs to be done. Men, especially those who were born in unfortunate circumstances, you owe nothing to no one, or particularly no entity, and especially no community. Do not feel and do not be shamed into believing that you have to give back to individuals who made it hard for you in the first place.
And you see that? You see that, Xanatos? That's why you're not welcome on the block.
Oh, I'm not welcome on the block.
That kind of talk is why you're not welcome on the block.
You not a real nigga.
Oh man, block. Oh, I'm not gonna see the block being hot. Oh,
you get to live your life disease free. How horrible.
Oh, I get to live in Pleasantville with all the thinking black men and hot non-black women, the cooperative non-black women, and the non-ADOS black women who are cooperative. Oh, poor me.
I'll take
you know what's funny when you say that, bro? I was just at the fucking mall out here in Frisco last weekend, and this black chick was trying to get at me in fucking Macy's, and you know how that went. So basically, she said some shit like, "Oh, you think you're the shit because you live out here in this neighborhood with all these white people." Some shit like. Bro, I laughed in her face, bro, and started walking away toward the Lacoste section. Shit was hilarious. But the answer is yes, I do think I'm better. Yes, I do.
You said Frisco, Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a nice part. That's nice. That's I can see that as an SYSBM friendly place.
Oh, it's dope out here. Now, but we've been seeing, like, I have noticed over the last couple of, goddamn, I sound like one of them old racist white dudes. Them niggers should come.
Walk across the side of the street. Walk on the other side. But
no, like, because I live in like West Plano, so it's like, it's dope as fuck, basically. And you know, the best of the best and everything. But you have been kind of seeing like more sisters coming out, but they're always single though, which is crazy. You don't ever see them. They don't have kids though. A lot of sisters that are single with no kids in their 30s. You know what I mean? They got the careers. Those got to be the career ones.
San Francisco?
Say what?
You said San Francisco?
No, Frisco, Texas.
Oh, Texas. Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, if it's San Francisco, they may not be seen with a man, but they laying up with white dudes out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I mean they're getting fucked here. I mean, nothing's happening, but white dudes gonna fuck here.
These dudes out here, they always claim that they're single, but then you ask them how many dudes number you got in your phone. They got a Rolodex of dudes. So that's when a woman tells me she's single, it just means that she's available to fuck me, but she got other dudes. That's how I see it now.
What y'all got to realize, they're getting shuffled out just like this panel. See, every time we getting cycled, they have a panel of niggas. You know what I'm saying? Literally, like what's going on right here. This is what they have. But back to the topic about why is SYSBM being judged by pro-black responsibility and standards, fellas, and everybody on the panel. What have the pro-black built?
Not a fucking thing that I'm aware of at all. Nothing.
What has their relationship?
Wait, brothers. The pro-blacks built the block. I think that we all need to respect the block that they built, or didn't build, but the block that they let people build for them, and they stand on it.
Or sleep on it, because there's a lot of homeless black men that are sleeping on those same blocks outside right now on the same block.
And they built the tent that they sleep under. Don't you see?
Yeah, that's about it. The block.
Credit where credit's due.
So that's why I just don't understand where this thing is going. I mean, I'm on year 2 in this space, and I feel like I've kind of reached the point where I got to move on to, something different. But I just kind of wonder where all you guys on the panel are, because some of you have been here longer, some of you the same amount of time. Like, have you guys reached the point where you feel like these conversations are starting to go in a circle?
Or
yes,
you've been going in a circle. Yeah. Well, the first insult is SYSBM is actually more pro-black than they are. Part 2 is that you've never seen them have a conversation as what we had just a second ago, and that's another thing that you're envied for. Part 3 is that you're supposed to be the enemy. Part 4, you're not supposed to have enough perception to see what's going on. You're supposed to be behind the curtains, keeping up the facade,
So really this whole little pro-black shit, because again, in my real life, I don't have these kind of conversations with people. It's really a social media thing. So it's
right.
So Game Changer said it was part peacocking for hoes, but then the other part is really dirty macking and hating.
Yeah, it's about swag and
self-jerking off too.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fucking kissing your own dick and shit. Well, I'm alpha because I said, bitch, you ain't shit, nigga. If I met you on the street, fuck out of here. You on the internet, come on, you whoever you say you are, you're on the computer, man.
Okay. Well, the thing is too, King Sigma, also that you have to realize, and it's good that you came in at the time that you did, and especially when you you blew up doing the DJ Pope thing. The thing is, all of these terms that we're talking about, like incel and alpha and beta and stuff, women got those talking points from us.
Yeah. Right.
They're over here spying on us and shit like that. They got those talking points for us. I will guarantee you 9 times out of 10, what they call an incel is not an incel, but the incel just sounds good.
Well, bro, I was just thinking that when that nigga was talking about that an hour ago. I'm like, they're just repeating shit. They wouldn't know what a fucking incel was unless they heard us fucking say it.
Yeah, they got their jargon from us.
How long have you, DJ Kuda, Silent, Xanatos, how long have y'all been in this space? In this space?
Well, I've been in this space actually making content for the greater part of like 4 to 5 years.
Oh, okay.
But I've seen once the internet hit, like I've seen YouTube when they had a yellow subscribe button and all you could do was scroll down. Like I've been here from the jump. I've seen the PUA boom. I've seen the red pill boom. I've seen everything. I've been actually since I was 15. I've been studying this game up until now, being active in my my actual life and actually watching the internet and the difference, because I'm one of those tail end millennials. Like overnight things just flipped when it came to the dating game. I was getting women before, had conversation and everything, and then overnight it just flipped. You didn't need conversation. You didn't need anything. Every broad was on social media. They're socially awkward. It's like, it's terrible. I don't need half the conversation I in game that I've accumulated.
I feel like IG changed the game more than any other thing.
Oh yeah, Instagram and everything. Like, because before, if you were doing what we're doing right now, you were a computer nigga. You had to have a terminal. You had to find a terminal. But now you could get on your phone and do all of these things. When they put the camera on the phone, that was game over for bitches. Once they put the camera on the phone, it was game. And they can send picture messages and shit like that. And I know I sound old, but you know what I'm saying? I'm 31, so it's like it was over for hoes. It was over. Once that happened, and social media and all kinds of stuff, because women were like, why are guys talking to me in my inbox? This is so stupid. If you're a real man, you would approach me in person. But now they realize that when somebody's hollering at them in their inbox, they don't have to immediately respond.
I know
they don't have to.
I know a little Chinese Vietnamese mix. Now, for the Midwest, I would say that she's a nice solid 8.5. But out there on the East Coast, she's like a nice solid 8. Probably about 5, I think she said she's 5'3", 135 pounds. Now, it's just what amazes me is that like my father and uncle's generation, she would have been, you know, a real, you know, cool chick, wifed up by somebody by the age of 25. But because she got so many options and she's 25, this female, bro, she got like 100,000 followers. And if she posts just like a pic, now again, she's like an 8 on the East Coast, just what they would consider an average girl in LA or something. But man, these hoes today, bro, they got like tens of thousands of motherfuckers. It's just
everything's on steroids.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the situation like.
But the thing is that when you're on steroids, you know how strong you actually are without them, and that's what's on display. We know what these women are without the steroids,
and they all got the work now. Because this girl even told me, she said that yeah, you know, I had got surgery, so and I came to find, and this ain't like no IG model chick. These are all regular office level girls.
Yes,
and they all got the fat removal, the fake asses, the tits.
Look at what these girls got on right now. Half of them wouldn't wear that shit unless they saw somebody on Instagram, on social media wearing that.
Yeah, you that brand fashion. They all wear that Fashion Nova shit now.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have wore that before. All those daring clothing and stuff like that. Like if a woman wants to really get a man right now, since 40% of broads are listening, if you want to get a man right now, get off of social media and date the guys that's in your immediate circle. And whoever approaches you, and that's in your
addicting. When you look at it from a female standpoint, because I've seen it, like you could be the most intelligent dude, right? If you don't got a high status, this is what social media is about status, right? So if you got 10,000 followers or 20,000 followers and you got the right pictures, that is almost like the alpha male on IG now, just off. Whereas a female, so a dude, his shit gotta be, you know, on point, but a female can be just average. I swear to God, if she's just average, you call cute, that bitch got 1,000 DMs, and I'm talking about just dudes saying hello. If you would just, and I know you done it. If you just go through IG and just go look at any I'm talking about just fairly attractive woman, I can see why these hoes don't want to get married and why they wait until they're 30, because
it's unrealistic though. Even their use of social media is unrealistic. Our use of social media is realistic. King Sigma, you have to come out with some groundbreaking. You have to come out with some undeniable groundbreaking work to at least go somewhat viral. These hoes just have to be there.
They don't got to do shit, man.
They don't. And she believes she's better than you in her heart of hearts. Like these women, they don't think they're smarter than you by a little bit. You know how if you're racing somebody got, let's say, a Challenger versus like a Camaro or something. You're like, damn, his car is fast, but you know what? At least his car can give me a somewhat of a run. You understand what I'm saying? Like his car can give me somewhat of a challenge. Women think they're smarter than you. They understand more than you, and like it's by a long shot. That's how smarter than you than they think they are.
Except that they're dumber than you by 2 times.
Thank you. Thank you.
These hoes are
that's the craziness. And then the funny thing is, they want a guy that's fucking taller than them and smarter than them and makes more fucking money than them, and they think they're better than this fucking guy.
Yeah, the shit is crazy, man. The game is so fucking crazy right now, man. I'm just saying, like, I like to look at the IG, and I like to just look at the shit that the good-looking women put up. These hoes be thinking, like, they'll put up a quote that they saw one of you brothers post up.
Right, under some picture.
And then they'll have their picture, and you might have really came up with this bomb-ass quote. You might have just figured out, like, the new algebraic equation that a scientist used to cure cancer. You might get, like, 100 likes on that shit. This bitch, she puts up a picture with your quote on it. She got 10,000 motherfuckers in her in telling her how big she is and how intelligent
But look how much panels and stuff we've been on and how much game we sit up here and chop up. And you could just go up to any random broad and talk about something to her, and automatically she's an expert in dating. Bitch hasn't read one book, hadn't attended one etiquette class, hadn't done anything, but all of a sudden we're supposed to take her word for it, and she's an expert in dating, and she knows how to choose.
She's an expert in getting fucked, but it's just like with a lot of these so-called dating coaches, and I'm always making the case, and I'm gonna keep making it. So much of what dudes want to tell you that they got game, I swear to God, is pre-selection, bro.
Yeah, that's all it is, man.
Because these
you don't need game for a woman who wants you, man. Period.
Exactly. And I keep telling these dudes act like I'm saying some shit that's foreign. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? In 2020, most women are choosing just off your picture.
Yeah, like you guys seen that that little meme on Facebook where you got this fat dude leaning over the office cubicle saying, "Hey, you look pretty in that dress." And then she's like, "Oh, call HR." And then you had a good-looking, handsome brother, tall brother come in. "Hey, you look good in that dress." "Oh my God, you're so sweet." So you're saying the same. It don't matter what's being said. What matters is who's saying it.
Thank you, man. God, you tell these dudes this, and then they come at you like, "Man, no, it's game, bruh." What the fuck are you talking about?
I tell dudes all the time though, go into the mall and go take a picture with a whole bunch of bitches and post it on your social media. These hoes don't know if you know these women or if you slept with them and shit like that. And watch, you're dating. Look, the thing is that with the internet, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with everybody, is that our dating pools increased, but their dating pools just got unbelievable to the point that they don't even know how to deal with it.
It's too many.
Realistic, yeah. And they can't, and they're not gonna give up those options because you're now asking a woman to give up attention.
Yeah, and free of all that. Let me show you this. Remember when I said sometimes I just hear shit that I say pop up on social media? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
This was back in
what? Hey, I don't see it. Hey,
it's kind of blurry though. What did it say?
I see it again.
What's that?
Can you read it?
Can only.
Yeah, I said, I swear us black guys can only either be Future or Urkel. I said this shit last spring.
Killing me with that shit. I've met very few black men that act like an Urkel. That shit is very rare.
Well, I'm saying that's how they treat it. Like in these conversations we have. This is when that alpha and beta conversation first kicked off, and it was just a thought I had as if only black men have to either be one polar opposite of the other. You're either a fucking serial killer or you're a sniveling nerd living in your basement. You know, because when they were having the conversation about the men who weren't getting women, it wasn't the sniveling losers. What they don't want known is that they're rejecting perfectly good, decent looking guys who are in decent shape. You know, because if they admit that shit, then they're gonna seem like the crazy bitches, right?
Yeah.
Damn, like why were you fucking this guy? So they have to make it seem like, and they have to give the example, like you would hear them say this little line. I notice people have these little tropes they do when they talk. Well, see, attraction is important. So you got to understand if this guy is just overweight and fat and had no game and sniveling and lives with his mom. See, you could understand why you guys have heard that trope, right? Mm-hmm. So they have to make it seem like he's this fucking serial killer so people will understand why she didn't. Oh, okay. Well, I can understand why she ain't going to say, you know what? I fucking didn't choose Larry, who, was making $60,000 a year as a plumber, would have made a great family guy and treated me great. She ain't going to say that. She's going to, she's going to have to paint him in this fucking light where people would say, oh yeah, girl, I can understand that.
Right. Because she has to feel better about herself and her overinflated ego.
Exactly. So all of these fucking conversations, it would be different if we were having an honest conversation. But what ends up happening is we're just chasing fucking ghosts around because we're just fucking arguing against talking points and people's arguing shit that we never even fucking said. And then you're re-explaining and, well, what does the word "the" mean really? And, what do you mean by feminine? And all of a sudden, don't nobody know nothing or understand what the fuck.
That's the thing, Keith. You don't have to explain the finish line to these niggas because we already know that when you get to the end of the finish line with these women, how much femininity are you going to get?
None, man.
You're not even, bro. If this motherfucker cooks you lasagna, you're never gonna hear the end of it.
True.
Remember that time I cooked you lasagna?
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember that time you burnt down the house?
That one time. Yep.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I say, man, my patience is thin because I know when somebody is stupid and I know when somebody is playing stupid.
It's playing
right?
stupid, yeah.
And you can tell how people ask questions. Again, I say when we talk, it's like, when you ask a question, there's a question mark at the end. But no, they'll ask a question and then talk the entire, like, dude, did you want to? No, they're just fucking here to be a distraction. Like the dude from fucking the UK that we were talking to the other day, right? The whole purpose of that, again, is to get you, well, one, he needed the attention because now I think people are playing purposely obtuse because they're centered of attention. See, if I just play this obtuse asshole, then everybody's answering to me.
Yeah, that's why they misrepresent the acronym like SWV and sex YFDM.
Bitch, you know what it's called. Shut the fuck up.
You know what it is. Yeah.
Right.
Stop playing these fucking little fuck games.
See, the thing is, everybody here on this panel, we can play dumb, but the dumb person can never play smart. And this is the thing. We realize female nature to the point that you can love them or understand them, but you can't do both. A feminine looking woman can play like she's a woman, but a woman that's actually feminine, she'll always look better.
You know, you kill me with that,
I love it.
You know, you kill me with that, man.
I know, feminine. I'm about to trademark that.
Hey, man, it's all good.
Hey, Silent.
Yo.
Hey, you had me laughing. I was in Vegas the other night when you was on the show. And you said, "Hey, what does the color black smell like?" I was dying when you said that,
man. Hey, man, I try to use my words for these visuals, man. I'll be serious. Yeah. Like, these motherfuckers just be asking these dumbass. It's almost like they find a way to perfectly word a question so it's as confusing and as dumb as like. How long did it take you to think of some dumb shit like that? And you can almost, as they're asking the question, you can almost tell that they're just like, how can I say this shit to be as irritating as fucking possible?
Does the West Scandinavian penguin have kneecaps?
Right. No, I really want to know. Like, he kept going back to it, and the motherfucker would answer his question, and he just kept asking, and then just kept repeating the same shit.
Well,
listen, all I'm trying to say is,
take him down a rabbit hole. It's like he's begging you to take him down the rabbit hole because he just refuses to believe.
What's wrong with them? Listen, they're mentally ill. Okay, where does a mentally ill come from?
Yep.
Well, I don't understand why these
dudes, damn, nigga.
When it comes to the whole SYSBM thing, what I'm fascinated by is that it's more men talking about SYSBM than it is females.
Than women,
Of course.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you dudes?
All the white
and men are going to the furthest extent. Like, we understand the shaming tactic coming from women. We already know their whole playbook. They haven't updated it since fucking ever. Why are these dudes are like, yo, genetic annihilation, you're trying to kill us.
Hey, can I say something, guys?
But don't say nothing to the bitch that killed like a whole bunch of babies in her womb.
Wait a minute, fellas. When I stole the scrolls, you're right. These are the original scrolls. They have not updated them since the day after slavery. They have not changed their at all.
Yes.
You know,
which one did you have in the scroll for that one? Which scroll is it for that one?
For the behavior that they're having now, that the that the black community can be used as a hostage if you care about it less than your enemy. That is the scroll that's being used on that one. There's a follow-up to that, which is black children can be used as hostages if and only if you care about them less than the men do. Meaning when they say, what about your legacy? What about your legacy? That's them holding their children hostage. Because they're saying that if you leave, you won't have a legacy. But if you stay, you won't have a legacy.
But the investment legacy, even with the legacy thing, I find it funny. Well, of course, we know the whole abortion thing with the 21 million since 1970 black women. But another thing that I think is funny is like with the legacy. To leave a legacy, don't you gotta have something like of value outside of just your genetic DNA that you would be leaving the legacy for? What good has it served Black America to just take a bunch of children that you don't give any cultural capital or any financial capital? You don't give them a transfer or estate upon your death. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, see, King Sigma, that's the seeds being used as bullets analogy, because the thing is that she beats you to your seeds before you know more about what your seed is intended for than she does. She has to have a seed planted in her before she can even do whatever she's biologically supposed to do. So what she does is she wants to guilt trip you as if she's going to offer all of those things that you've stated when you have to have that planned out in your mind for that to even happen. She doesn't offer your kid no culture. McDonald's is not nurturing your children. She doesn't have the basic femininity or necessities mentally to produce what you would like to produce, and she does not have an input on what she doesn't even read a book.
True.
These bitches you've been with, you haven't seen them read a book yet. And if she does, it's some She-Ra 7 shit on how to scam you and you're right beside her.
Nah, they don't read.
What they're, I mean, fellas, I mean, you got to understand, and this is what I understood from the scrolls and its leanings, that the root of their culture comes from slavery, and during slavery they were auctioned off. So now what they're doing is they're auctioning off legacies to men.
Right.
What does legacy mean to you, Game Changer?
Hey, real quick before you go,
babies, they never stayed on the plantation. They got moved around.
Let me respond real quick. This dude in the chat, he's asking me about the setup. So I got a fucking Sony. Hold on, I got a Sony fucking box for the sound, which is a good fucking setup. I'll fucking, if you want me to put the specs in there, I'll put the specs in there, and then I got Poke. The speakers are Poke, all surround sound, and then I just got the fucking Xbox and the PS4 and shit inside the cabinet.
That shit fire, man. That shit dope as fuck, man. I like that whole setup, man. Is that your living room?
Zane is
fire, man.
Zane is
Of course, I got the fucking guard dogs over here chilling, listening to us bullshit.
Zane is one sick fat bitch.
Nice crib, nigga.
I mean, just the fact that just the fact that Zane writes about women that are hotter than her chronically really says something. Her shit's fucked up.
I tried to
she lives here in DC. She lives here in DC.
I tried to make my crib look like fucking Eddie Murphy and fucking Arsenio's crib when they upgraded that shit in the hood.
Hey, you got a hot tub in the middle?
That's all I need is that hot tub.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, you know
Is a big rat. So a big rat.
A big rat.
You made that was my favorite shit.
You made enter with the big ass cigar hanging out of his mouth and shit.
Yeah. He said, I tell you what, I'll move into my place 1A and I'll just take this off your hands.
That's a real shithole, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you brothers will love it.
You know the body scene.
Apartment 1A is the block.
Bro, they trying to redo that shit, man. They redoing that shit.
Right, they doing it.
Yeah, they should.
Gonna be on it and everything. I think Wesley Snipes gonna be there somehow.
Yeah, it's gonna be all the original cast on that motherfucker.
My friend was he's supposed to be in that movie also. My man, Jermaine Fowler.
And Coming to America too, he the dagger couldn't even act right in Zamunda, and he came over here and get a white woman.
He SYSBM'd over there.
But y'all noticed that SYSBM was okay when he was doing it.
Right.
Yeah, he came over here and married Margot Robbie.
Nobody gave a fuck about SYSBM until we put an acronym on it, and actually put more than pussy behind it.
Oh no, they care. Yep. They care because I was traveling before that, and those bitches will be on a plane trying to shame you and shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, when you see them on the same plane and y'all going to Jamaica at the same time. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry, bitch, I'm going to fuck Margot. Sorry.
It's gonna be a day real soon where a lot of these ABWs are gonna look up and black men are gonna like literally walk across the street when they see them coming type shit. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking about that legacy.
What do you mean gonna be?
Bro, we're fucking
we're doing it now.
Less than 1 year from a total withdrawal.
Let me let y'all know what you're saying is actually true, because what you guys are saying is actually true. Look at the video of Gervonta Davis. He didn't even yoke the bitch up. He picked her up aggressively, but it wasn't even no real aggressive shit. And he gets arrested for that. And the thing is that like you can't even check the bitch. Mm-hmm. And he didn't even yoke her up. It wasn't no violent yank or nothing like that. He's like, man, get up. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, being a little bit aggressive, but it wasn't even, you know, and I know celebrities are judged a little bit different, but that's going to be the standard for you black dudes, man. These girls will get you locked up. They will testify in court and say that, yo, you abused me and all this other shit.
Me like that.
Niggas going to leave them alone altogether.
Yep.
See, here's the thing, man. Well, this Kobe shit, y'all don't even see the bigger implications of this Kobe shit, man.
What's that?
Of how on a worldwide stage, just you like the Snoop Dogg shit with Oprah, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's black women. See, now no, especially famous black dudes were not going to call out black women like that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now them calling out Oprah and Nems are going to get them real comfortable with calling out black women bullshit. Period.
Exactly.
Right.
Let's start from the top down. From the top
they're gonna
down.
start doing what they're gonna start doing what we're doing, because the thing is that even the young girls can't stop Oprah and Gayle for speaking for them, even if they don't agree with them, because some of these young girls are like, oh, I don't agree with what she said with Kobe. Yeah, but are you gonna stop the bitch?
No, but see, the problem is when they see Oprah do that shit,
people are stopping them. I mean, because they used to go by scroll 9. You know, if you know, file any complaints to the sisterhood under racism if it's from a non-black person, and sexism if it's from a man. So basically, you know, they're losing their ability to do that because, you know, people are saying, I don't care if you call me racist or sexist, I'm going to call you out on your bullshit. That's what happened with Rock Love and that sexy Asian chick, and that's what happened. And that's what happened with Gayle. What's her name? Yeah, Gayle King, right?
Gayle King.
Yeah.
Hey, and if you couple that with the, like King Sigma said, that 2020 census that's coming, man, it's gonna the numbers are gonna show. The numbers are gonna show.
Man, I told Obsidian that shit 2 years ago. I said 2020, bro, it's over. He didn't believe me, man. He was still on that. You know, he kept. This was about the time after the I had that Nicole Michelle debacle, and him and Kevin Samuel was all mad at me and blocking me and shit for a minute. And I was telling him then, I was like, you know, this is gonna work for about 6 months. And then all of this shit about to be exposed, and then y'all gonna see Nicole for who she is, and then there's gonna be a couple of events. I'm telling you, that my prediction is when that bitch divorces Russell, what the fuck is Wilson? That is going to be the end of black relationships. Period.
Because I said the same thing about Nicole Michelle, and then now all of a sudden, get the bag. Get the bag.
You know, the worst situation for that could end up being a situation where, like, old girl gets pregnant again by Future, and then he divorced her because of that shit.
Watch that shit's gonna fall apart. It's almost like the black women are resting their fate on what happens with fucking Sierra and Serena Williams.
Yeah, because they like to take credit for bitches they got nothing to do with.
Oh,
and Meghan Markle too.
You forgot Meghan Markle because she on suicide. So Meghan Markle, suicide.
Oh, she on suicide watch?
Oh
you
yeah,
bullshit.
her shit is
already.
Oh, for real. Her mom came out. Her mom is so worried about her. She came out, did like an op-ed on mental illness because she's going through a real mental. Bro, you ain't heard that they got kicked out the royal family, man.
I mean, I knew that, but I thought she was gonna support King Harry.
Yeah.
You telling me
now?
No, I mean, you know how they like to keep pet white men to make it look like they're getting something.
They
but,
winning.
you know,
They ain't winning.
For the optics, yeah.
Nah, which is got a lot of mental illness. Her mom said her mom was worried about her, and she did like an op-ed because she's saying that the girl is breaking down mentally. Then you got Serena Williams. She came out this week, and she said that her husband smells like a dog.
You know what? I just had a fucking thought.
Oh yeah.
Why the fuck doesn't the U.S. Army send the Daggle to fight the fucking Taliban? I mean, they defeat every fucking other thing they goddamn come up against. They done brought down the goddamn monarchy. Can't tell me these bitches can't fucking.
Well, Helen of Troy did it.
You said brought down the monarchy. That's funny.
Well, shit, Helen of Troy did it.
But damn it! And she destroyed the fucking royal house in 6 fucking months.
Man,
right.
This monarchy has been around for hundreds or thousands of fucking years.
They have
one fucking Daggle.
The Daggle is very effective, y'all,
because she was only half black.
Right, the Daggle is very effective, y'all, because it burns you from inside out. It's not even like a full just external burn. It gets you from the inside and then it just spreads outward.
No, it's worse than they both.
Bro, the fucking queen is about to put a travel ban like Trump did on Muslims on daggles. You bitches can't even get on a plane in London, bitches.
Well, you know that whole thing about legacy that's interesting. Like, this is how I be knowing that a lot of black folks, they say shit. Sometimes being in this space, I really couldn't believe that. Now I know for a fact that most black people don't read. They don't know the words they use. These bitches running around talking about legacy, having no clue that almost everything about the definition of legacy relates to the passage of property from one generation to the next.
Yeah, because the game is they're selling you this fake nuclear family.
They consider their pussy and give you a kid to be the legacy, not knowing that that might be the genetic thing. The legacy comes from, like, if DJ Kuda has a business and a house and he has cash, when he dies in his will, he transfers that to his children. That's the legacy. The legacy is what you build and what you transmit to the next generation. These son of a bitches don't have no concept of building something and then transferring it, like what Kobe did. He had a legacy that not just in his career, obviously, but he left a financial legacy that his family and his daughters can build on. He left something to transfer to him upon his death. But these women talk about a legacy like, well, I gave you a kid. That's not a fucking legacy. That's just a baby.
Right. And you can tell because the Daggle got double the kids than black men.
And also they call it self-preservation. Meaning, like, you're not preserving yourself unless you sleep with an American black woman and impregnate her.
But what if
basically all the guys here who without kids, you know, that's the same result. You're not self-preservation.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm 90% chance I'm gonna end up having a kid with a Latina or Persian woman. I'm pretty confident in that. I mean, that's
for me, Latina and or Filipina.
Now you said that brothers is already ignoring black with big numbers, Lamont.
Oh yeah,
at least, especially here in Dallas.
Just black dudes. There's people in general. They're getting sick of the bad customer service.
Well, so you guys are noticing that in y'all real world.
Not just black women though. It's women in general. Women in general are not getting cold approaches anymore.
Yeah.
So that's true in your area, Game Changer.
Well, so I didn't do the pool. I just did one sample person, and she was at the DMV a couple weeks ago. I talked about it on my channel. She was about a 7. She was about a California 7, and so I just straight up asked her, like, look, be honest with me. How many guys hit on you in, say, a given week? And she said, I normally work in the back, but it is a lot when I'm up here. I say, in a week, how many? All right. She said, well, so many that I had to get a fake wedding ring, but that didn't really stop it. I was like, so is that like 5, 10? And she said, oh, no, not that many. I was like, what? So I'm thinking, like, you don't even get it one a day, and you see maybe like 200 people. This is the fucking DMV, like all tax bracket, all races, all creeds, all colors. You see like 200 dudes a day, you know, working the vehicle registration line. So something is up. Like something.
Well,
she should get a lot more. Back in my day, she would get it like maybe 7, 8 a day.
I think they've beaten men down to the point where, because they've treated men, you know, you got a lot of attacks on men over the last 15 years to the point where they were remember when they were doing all those documentaries about approaching, like, you know, the cat call videos and
holler back and shit like that. They fucked themselves up. Exactly.
Yeah, because I think a lot of dudes
see, that was the first part of Me Too. They wanted to get dudes locked up for approaching them, which basically tied into what's called the stop and frisk law. And what happened was a lot of black women didn't know they would be affected by the same stop and frisk law. But the thing is that it only works like how what Keith was saying earlier with the guy in the office. It would just be on a global scale. The guys that they're not attracted to, all of a sudden he's violating. But the guys that they are attracted to, oh, he's approaching me.
But now you're saying
guys don't know if you're attracted to him or not. They just assume not do it because
you have to approach them.
One thing if a woman,
but also too, the internet changed things too.
Yeah, that was the game changer. Absolutely.
See, what I'm trying to figure out is how much of it's the internet versus this Me Too movement over the last 10 to 15 years.
It's all the internet. The internet is exposing everything.
Yeah.
Me Too.
It's making it a smaller world, so it reaches everybody now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because see what nightclubs do is they get a whole bunch of bad women in your city that you would have normally wouldn't have brushed shoulders with, and what they do is they bring them all in one place.
Put them all in one place.
And what happens is they make their money off of the liquor sales for Liquid Courage. And the thing is that you get all of these women in one place, and you get a chance to whatever, you win her love or whatever type of shit, that whatever that means, right? You get to do whatever, right? And what the internet does is you can know what's going on in China right now just by a couple clicks on your phone,
Absolutely.
and you know what I'm saying? Just how like a lot of dudes that aren't from the United States, they know what's going on in the manosphere, hook, line, and sinker, way more than dudes that's even from here.
Did you know that celebrities listen to our conversations, man?
Yes. They're listening right now. They're on MOT channel.
You know who I listen to?
Who's that?
Who is red pilled than a motherfucker? I swear he listens. Corey motherfucking Holcomb.
I love Corey Holcomb.
Yes, Corey Holcomb is like the original MGTOW in my.
If Patrice O'Neal was alive, he would have owned some shit in the manosphere.
Hey, that Black Phillip show was a motherfucker, boy.
Yes, man.
Yeah, because I
still might fire up some Black Phillip.
He's the reason why I started podcasting.
Because you got a situation where Game Changer's saying that that's what he's seeing, and I'm just wondering, like, these women, they had all this thing where they were saying that men were harassing them. They don't want men approaching them. Then you got the example that Lamont used with the dude in the Office place based off that Tom Brady Saturday Night Live skit. And why is everyone surprised that men are saying, okay, y'all don't want us approaching you, then we won't approach you no more. Now the bitches are complaining that they're not being approached. I mean, they're just so fucking confused.
But they're crazy. I mean, just because it doesn't make sense, they're crazy. Of course it doesn't make any sense. But again, they want everything. I mean, you can't fucking have it. They want something that doesn't fucking exist. They only want the motherfuckers they want to approach them. But those men are better than them and can do better than them. And so they're not going to be the only one. But so they want the motherfuckers that could get any woman to be. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
And I'm so glad. I'm so glad
y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Wake up call this week, man. Because he was the main one that pushed that anti-male shit all over the last 10 years. It was Joe Biden, him and Barack Obama. I was so glad to see that son of a bitch get 0 in Iowa. He get his male feminist. It's these white male feminists that did a lot of damage to all American men over the last decade, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you got the mic.
Oh yeah, the white maggles are dangerous as hell.
I'm talking about white male feminists, the white. They did a lot of.
I'd rather deal with a black maggle than a white maggle any day, bro.
No, I don't care which one, but I mean those fedora motherfuckers. I mean they're more entrenched, and they are. Well, I mean they'll do it for like less. Because they actually, see the black maggles is doing it for pussy. Let's be clear. They're dating call for them.
Mm-hmm.
The white dudes be on some righteous indignation shit.
Yeah,
but them white dudes can play a gaslighting game like nobody else, man.
Well, they really believe
they will mimic a MRA in a minute,
bro.
And the cold part is about the white dudes. If you hit them too hard, they'll just go full tiki torch, like because their anti-racism is tied to their feminism. I shit you not.
Well, you saw
they remind me of the Daggle, bro. Their tiki torch is their version of you hate your mama. I mean, it's the same tactics, man.
They did Al Franken. He was trying to play that male feminist because again, it was Al Franken, Joe Biden, and Barack Obama that was passing all those bullshit laws against men, and they threw his ass under the bus as soon as they got a chance. But Wacky, I see you on here, man. I don't want to hog the mic, but I just wanted to put that out there because it seems that their actions over the last 12 years is what's causing this fucked up environment between American men and the women. And it seems like most people aren't happy with the arrangement right now.
Hey, stay on, Sigma. I'm heading to the gym.
Okay, go ahead, Wacky.
I'll give you guys a story. I know you guys was talking about male and females in general, but as far as me just looking at in the environment around me, I can see that this so-called black female, her day's just about done.
Really?
Especially when it comes to these zillennials. Listen, there's a high school that's not too far from me, right? Now, the high school technically is considered a predominantly black high school. but it's also a whole lot of other ethnic groups, as far as students is concerned, that enter these schools. A whole lot of East Indians, Arabs, Asians, Hasidic Jewish people, Hispanics, if you want to separate them from black people. And there's times, let's say, if I'm, going out and I pass by the high school, I'm seeing these young so-called black males holding hands with the Hispanic girls, with the East Indian females, with the Jewish females, with the Arab females, with the Asian females. And I'm seeing these young high school black female students,
white boys,
just walking with each other.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Walking by themselves, walking with each other. And I'm like, damn, the brothers not even looking their way. And these are the millennials, because remember, high school children right now are millennials. All the millennials are out of high school. So this is the Z generation. So I'm like, damn, the young brothers from the Z generation, they are not trying to hear that with these black females. I guess they see our generation older, and they see what they have to go through with black females, and they said, fuck that. It's they doing this unwritten SYSBM rule.
But see, that's why they're mad about SYSBM, because we don't have to recruit nobody. The shit that we talking, they're automatically going to gravitate to it because they know it's true. There's no SYSBM recruitment. Show me somebody recruiting right now.
No, the thing is with the SYSBM, it's just a label put on something that so-called black males have always done.
Right.
So what's to be mad about?
That's what I'm trying to figure out what these niggas are talking about.
That's one of the reasons why when I see these white dudes talking this brotherhood shit, now that they created this Frankenstein called radical feminism, but deep down inside, these are the same dudes that the reason that they put all that feminist shit out there was the same reason they put Jim Crow out there to control black men's dating options. They didn't create all this shit to control their dating options. It just blew up in their face. They were willing to put females in the office place as long as they kept black men out of those jobs. That's why they can't sit around here crying me a river, because deep down inside, a lot of these white dudes, man, don't let them fool you, man. They hella racist, man. Like they really don't want to see you fucking white women, Asian women. They don't even want to see you fucking black women.
Yeah.
They don't want the black man to compete at all.
Shit.
Just real. I'm real talk, because I know in this space, a lot of brothers don't like to talk about the racial thing. But one of the things I don't like is how dudes be trying to act like there's some kind of brotherhood between black men and white men. Because if there is, I ain't never seen it in my life.
Hell no.
I mean, you got some semi MGTOW brotherhoods, but that really ain't. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that they know those black women that were put there in those paper pusher positions and stuff like that. Them broads were guard dogs. Them broads were to keep the brothers in the office in check.
Yep.
And that's why they will hire a gay brother way faster than they will hire a straight brother.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They want black women and homosexual men in office place.
Yeah. And that's what's funny, man. I actually got into these, started literally listening to YouTube when I was when the pickup artist game.
I was around
when the mysteries and shit like that. And I was always a brother for game. So I was like, man, what are these white boys talking about game and shit, right? I started, kind of entertaining and shit. And then I would always like to look at comments and shit. And I would go through the comments section. And then I started to with the MGTOW shit. And so I noticed a common thing. Remember when I said that, damn, you know how when women will talk, they'll, like, for example, when women say what it is that they wanted for female empowerment, right? When reality is they just wanted to be able to fuck who they wanted.
Right.
But they just couldn't say that because it would make them sound like whores.
Right.
So they would say three other things. And then they would say at the end, fuck who I wanted. Right. We just want to do like men and our jobs and fuck who we want. No, you just really want to fuck who you wanted. You just do wanted that other shit so you don't sound like a whore. So that's what the pattern that they would do. They would be talking about women, but it would always trickle down to the others. Right. And this is actually like when I do kind of get triggered about the political discussions when I hear liberals and shit like that. Because when I hear liberals, I really hear a slur. Because I hear it when white dudes say it, and I keep thinking like, some of these terms are so fucking broad, so fucking broad.
Yep.
So to narrow it down to that, and then the way you say it, it's almost like you're just like saying incel. You're saying it like you're calling me a bitch, basically, right? And so instead of calling me a nigger, to me that's what I hear when some white dudes say liberal. That's what I hear. You're really trying to say nigger, right? But you can't say nigger, so you say liberal. Just the tone of it, if you will. Does that make sense?
Liberal and Negro sounds alike.
Well, I do have to push back a little bit.
It's like all this code language. So when I hear, I'm talking on TV and these liberals, because I always ask, who the fuck are they talking about? Because I mean, that's a pretty broad fucking spectrum. So are you talking about extreme motherfuckers, or do you see what I'm saying? So it's just kind of
that's what that shit is.
No, that's correct. Because I've been called liberals so many times by these undercover racists. And I'm like, what? Because I'm far from a liberal, but I get the gist of what these people were trying to say. So I would just respond to them, and I said, just be straight up, just say nigga, because that's what you want.
Black people.
Just say nigga.
That's real niggas right there. Real niggas like they racism straight up. Like stop trying to hide behind some shit. A lot of women like their shit hidden. No, if you feel that way, be straight up so I can know.
I think the best thing that black men ever happened to us, because I've been making the case that the internet and this technology has created the most democratic moment in world history. Because again, the only way you can have democracy, a real democracy, is when people have access to information, and especially when you have access to information that can make you money outside of a modern workplace. So that's what I like about the internet, is that there's lots of ways to make money by creating websites, creating apps, investing in Bitcoin, whatever it is. It's a lot of venues that give black men that will apply themselves an opportunity to free themselves from these traditional workplaces that are under these kind of, anti-black male policies. And I think that's what black men we do got to get on that shit. And while these plantation bros, see, this is why I don't like to get dragged into debates with plantation.
Like your man Charles Merchant. Real quick, I got to say this real quick.
Yeah.
So out of everything that I just said, this dude Charles Merchant says, sound like you were hurt by the term liberal. Now, I just literally went on this whole diatribe and explained what I meant. And you've heard me on this panel, and you've heard that I've been real honest about. So how the fuck would you come up? You're one of those fucking people, dude. I don't like black and white thinking fucking people. It's obviously you walk around with fucking blinders on. Some shit, you're a person, a good, well-rounded person has well-rounded fucking ideas. Some shit a person is liberal on, some shit. If you just stick to one fucking side, you're a fucking moron. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You need to pick and choose your fucking ideas. And guess what? Intelligent people understand sometimes you can believe in two ideas that conflict with each other. Life is fucking complicated, you fucking idiot. And if you can't get out of thinking inside of this fucking box, you don't even have the right to address me, man. You're not intelligent enough to even fucking walk in the same room that I do, man. Real talk. Yes, some liberals are trash. Some conservatives are trash. They're all fucking trash. They're fucking politicians, man.
Yep.
All of them. And if
every
you fucking
politician
think like
is a great crook.
Like, here's what I hate this conversation, right? Like, and I don't give a fuck about no side. But when I hear someone say conservatives are shit or Democrats haven't done anything, like that's just so they haven't done anything, nothing. Now we can't have an honest conversation if we're getting into the politics shit. I can have that argument, but we have to have an honest fucking conversation. There's some shit that both motherfuckers need to work on, but to say neither did anything or all, time somebody get into this all argument, like if you make that argument, it's almost like, well, niggas are still living in Jim Crow, so niggas ain't doing better than we were in the 50s. I don't know. I drive a luxury car, live in a luxury neighborhood, fucking all kinds of women. So something has happened in the last fucking 50 years. So just shut the fuck up, man. Go ahead, my dude.
Well, one of the things that I was saying, man.
Yo, sorry to interrupt, but you guys have a good night, man. I was just coming on here just to give y'all that story.
All right, man.
Yeah, have a good night,
bro.
Hey.
All right,
AJ, he says, what was the MGTOW talk? I feel like I missed something. I don't have any idea what you're talking about with the MGTOW. I don't know if someone mentioned MGTOW, but I don't I don't have
no
much.
Charles Bertrand. I just don't like guys like you, brother. I have a low tolerance for bullshit, bro, and you can't have a conversation with me.
But
you can't.
What I was saying was about the fact that one of the reasons why I don't like engaging in too much back and forth with Plantation Bros is that I see that this technology is like a fucking gold mine. The internet is probably the internet is what.
Let everybody get their last word in, man. One around the panel. Game Changer, you want to fire up another stream? No, he said he was on the way.
Game Changer at the gym.
Yeah, I'm on my way to the gym, so it's perfect timing. So yeah, I'll go first then. So yeah, thanks everybody, man. This has been very productive things, but yeah, do not let people discourage you. Don't let people discourage you. If you're SYSBM, then be that. If you're Passport Bros, be that. If you're doing your own thing, be that, because they're not going to provide you with something better. They're not going to provide you with a better alternative. If they do, if you show up with a Becky that's an 8, and they show up with an Ebony that's an 8, then they can talk to you. Outside of that, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Peace, GC.
Peace.
King Sigma.
Yeah, I would just say, brothers, take advantage of the fact that what you're on right now, this technology is like a gold mine. This is the new oil boom. This is the new Wild Wild West, and that's where the focus needs to be. How can you wean this technology for all that you can to get free as possible in your movement? So with that, thanks for having me on. You guys have a good night.
All right,
you too, brother.
DJ Kuda.
Yeah, I mean, if Game Changer's busy, I'll probably fire up a panel. I'm actually gonna play a little bit of what Black women have been saying about Kobe and Gayle King. So I'll fire something up and learn how to use StreamYards and stuff. So I know how to kind of work this thing. So yeah, come through. If anything,
Sure
if
will.
y'all,
Might come chop it up for a second, man.
Yeah, we'll chop it up. Yeah, so I'll fire up a panel. Just give me like a good 5-10 minutes after the stream goes off.
All right, cool. All right, man. Thanks for coming through.
Thanks, MOT.
No problem, man. Keith.
Brothers, you have a hell of a walk throughout this world. And through all that mud that you have to walk through, you don't owe anybody any explanation, man. Go out here and live your lives. All right. Travel, see the world, do the things that interest you. And man, damn these people, man, who can't go anywhere talking about what you should be doing when you have lifted the entire universe on your shoulders. Go out and find your happiness, brothers.
That's a fact.
Real.
That's a fact. That's a Fendi fact.
Yes. What's up, MOT? I just wanted to speak real quick on something that King Sigma brought up. He brought up this fake brotherhood deal amongst white men and Black people per se, and that was one of the main reasons why I fell away from MGTOW, because I heard while listening to MGTOW content creators, white MGTOW content creators, even though they were saying things that resonated with me, there were still some racial hostility undertones to some of their messages. And the straw that broke the camel's back was Turd Flinging Monkey. He made a video denigrating the concept of a Black superhero movie when Black Panther came out. And he used a tweet.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, like it was some really juvenile, petty shit. Like he was like, why you guys being SJWs? Why you need a Black superhero movie? And he used the tweet by this liberal fedora hat dude to make his point. And I responded to it, but it was an old video. It's like years ago. So I said, you know what? These brothers, these white guys, they will accept us into their movement as long as we accept a marginalized position within the movement.
And as long as we're not fucking white women.
Right. And the
Or
whole
any other
time,
woman.
and the whole time they do reserve the right to haze and poke at us at every chance they get. So that's why I fell away from them. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. Fuck all that.
White MGTOW is about white men losing their women to us. True story.
Fuck all that fake brotherhood shit, man.
And that's why SYSBM is so pinpoint. It's save yourself, Black man. Doesn't say save yourself, white man. Doesn't say You know what I'm saying? Is very direct.
Yeah, correct. All right, cool. All right, Benjamin, thanks for coming on, man. Xanatos Clutch?
Yeah. I wish we could talk about that false brotherhood, that false alliance that certain men, particularly, especially American men, try to pull on black men. But all I'm going to say is this: to those guys, you are the reason why this feminism got out of hand. You are the reason why we have to deal. All of us have to deal with this mess. And quite frankly, while you had the chance to choose your fellow men, like how a good amount of Europeans did, how Canadians did, how New Zealanders did, and yeah, they have some feminism, but it's not nearly as out of control as it is here in the States. You all see what your choice on quote unquote race has done. So, have fun, have fun, and I know the trick that all of you do with bringing in a bunch of self-hating, nigga-hating Asian and Chinese and Mexican bitches, because that's their trick too. That's going to be the next trick. You see here in the Bay Area. I wish Game Changer was here. You can definitely attest to this. But yeah, I mean, that's going to eventually blow back in your face, and you're going to try to find some other strategy in order to preserve your place on the top of the totem pole. And all I'm going to say to that is, I just hope your greenback maintains the world reserve currency, because when that's done, you're done.
And my nigga, is that what the new term is? What motherfucker they say?
Nagger. It's a
my
nagger.
nagger.
My nagger.
My nagger. Their dollar is already done, man. We're fucking 36 months away. We're 36 months away, I think, from it being over within the next year and a half. This shit is about to be. It probably will end up being before the end of the year. There's going to be another real estate bubble this year that's going to be fucking terrible. And that election year is going to be that election year is going to be fucking horrible, bro. It's. I think honestly, bro. I've had this, I've told people before, man. I'm having this dream about waking up on Friday and all the banks are closed. I sound like a conspiracy theorist, man, but I think there's going to be a fucking civil war, man.
Oh yeah, I think something small gonna pop off.
Yep.
I was going down my news feed, man. I was trying to show you guys some shit I said when just things that I've said throughout the years, and like even when we were talking about the Me Too shit, I was saying with the Harvey Weinstein, I was like, watch they're gonna find a way to flip this shit to black men. This was before the fucking before the R. Kelly. I was like, this ship is never late. Somehow this shit is gonna flip over to black men. And Me Too went from powerful white men to all of a sudden it's niggas molesting everybody in Hollywood. I was like, God damn. And motherfuckers was on my post like, God damn, Keith. Because yeah. So nah, man, it's like it's just too easy, man. These ships are never late. Go ahead, my baby.
All right, cool. Mid-child flight. Last word, man.
All right, I'll keep it real succinct. Number one, thank you for having me here, MOT. And also, as it relates to MGTOW, I'm MGTOW for life. Me personally, MGTOW has played a major role in my life. And if it wasn't for MGTOW, I wouldn't have known about SYSBM. Big shout out to Lion of MGTOW LOM. There are a lot of MGTOW brothers out here pushing the word of MGTOW. And we're all part of the manosphere. I will say that, yeah, there are some differences going on. Things are changing. There are, extremes of every form. But at its core, MGTOW is about men worldwide and the suffering that we go through every day. And me personally, I have friends that are white, black, Hispanic, and you name it, that are MGTOW, from pilots to YouTubers, you name it. And so it's also in the real world as well. But there's still nothing like SYSBM, and SYSBM is tailor made for the black man. And it's telling every black man, save yourself. And I'm gonna continue to do that, and I'm gonna continue to see it that way. And I'll see you guys on the other side, man. Thank you for having me.
Hey, my brother.
No problem. I want to thank everybody for coming through on the stream. Last super chat is Neck of the Woods, $3.99. I'll try to get on the panel next time. Yeah, man. We have fun up here, man. We don't really let people on the panel who be on that bullshit. Hopefully, you know, it had a good run so far. You know, you never know what people who you let on or what the fuck they're gonna say, but it's been good so far, man. You know, I just want to thank everybody for coming out.
Hey, no doubt, MOT. It's always good, bro.
Same, man.
Yeah, man.
You're a gem. You're a gem, and you're a gem in this part of the manosphere, MOT. And you know, if you don't hear that all the time, bro, I'm gonna let you know that.
Yeah,
and DJ, you know what it is, pimp.
Hell yeah, bro. Man, Keith, we gotta do something, bro.
Yes, sir.
Man,
You know, my time be like, you know, I try to, you know, get it in on my nights where I'm staying in, man. So I'll try to, you know, chop it up, play some games. I'm staying in. So,
hell
you know,
yeah.
it's a Bible shot. I sit here and smoke a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
I gotta get your gamer
cool.
tag too, so you know.
Hey, it's Silent Lamont, player.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yes, sir.
Bet.
So, yes, sir. You might see me on your shit. You might not, man. I might fucking chill and then knock it out. It's time to get into the weekend tomorrow, so who knows?
Okay.
All right, people. Always good.
All right, cool.
All right, MOT.
All right, man. Well, let me get up out of here, man. All 186 of y'all watching, man. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe, man. And y'all have a really nice night. Thanks for coming out.